What's cracking? What's cracking? It's your boy Doughboy Tony. We back with another episode of What's the Word on Wednesdays, man, on the realest platform on YouTube, American Cholo. Y'all already know what it is. I got my boys with me in the building today, man. What's up? How y'all feeling today, bro?
Feeling great, bro. Feeling lovely.
Feeling lovely, feeling great.
Feeling beautiful, man. It's another Wednesday here with the boys.
Another Wednesday, man.
Look forward to this day always.
That's right.
Just chop it up, have some good conversation, you know?
Hey, can I get ahead of something real quick before Gil gets mad at me? I don't got the package on me, so I'm already messing up. But you know, sponsored by Hadar. Go get you some gas,
bro.
Right?
Oh man, it's over there.
No skits. It's here, but it's on the other room. I'll bring some up right before I get yelled at. My fault.
That's right.
Nah, but what's up, man? How y'all feeling? You guys got anything exciting that happened this past, week that we haven't been up here?
Nah,
anything
man.
Going on?
Nah, bro. Just really happy to see the weather. We're having a beautiful day in Southern California. I know a lot of people kind of tune in from all over the world, all over the United States. But here in California, like we've had a lot of June gloom recently, right? As of May.
Yep.
And bro, today's a beautiful day. There's a reason why nobody can afford to live in California, and it's this weather. For real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not just this weather, that weed right there.
That weed. Hey, you know what, bro? Like I try to make sure we're not at a crazy expensive thing, but you know, this is some quality right here, dog. You want snickle for it, you can go pay like $1,000 for some bullshit that ain't gonna even get you kind of high. You know what I mean? But or you can come tap in, pay for a normal eighth at the old school prices. It's fairly affordable, right?
Hell
make your life a little better. Plus, when you got fucking bipolar weather out here, dog, like
it's crazy, huh?
You know what I mean? Sometimes you need to kick back on the couch and melt away. But yeah, this weather's crazy,
bro.
It's ridiculous, bro. I was just telling Frank on the way here, like in the morning, it was super gloomy.
Yeah,
like it was just I didn't think it was gonna be like this, and then when like midday, I walk out and I'm like, oh shit, it's a nice day out.
Is it the same in OC right now as it is here?
Yeah, it's the same weather.
Damn.
Yeah. It's beautiful though. We're starting to finally get that weather that we want, when it comes to this time around and shit.
Bro,
it's the weather machines, G.
Yeah, a heart
the weather machine
bro.
G.
Damn, bro, the government won't let me not be sad boy, G. Fuck.
So we've been sad boy for a minute.
For a minute, dog. I'll be sad for no reason.
Facts.
You know who's gonna be sad tomorrow though? The fucking Celtics fans.
Damn, that's right.
Celtics fans about to go down 1-0.
Line, homie.
It's NBA Finals for those who still tune in and they fuck with the sports. Celtics and Mavs. The final starts tomorrow, bro. So
that's right.
let us know who you guys got in the comments, man. I'm not a fan of either team. I hate the Mavs because they eliminated us, and I've never liked the Celtics. I've never liked any Boston team to be fair.
Damn, so you don't even care what happened tomorrow.
I don't fuck with any Boston teams. I do and I don't. I mean, it'd be nice to see Boston lose, but I'm not gonna be super, stoked about it because the fucking Mavs eliminated us again. But who you got, bro?
I think I'm gonna take the Mavs. I'm gonna take the Mavs in 7. I think it's a really competitive series. Obviously you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on one side, and you got Luka and Kyrie Irving on the other side. Really, man, it comes down to crunch time, and I think time and time again, Luka has showed that he can come through in crunch time, and so has Kyrie. And I can't say the same thing about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, right?
Yeah.
When all the pressure's on, the game's on the line, like during the regular season, they come through. But when it comes into the playoffs, like time and time again, they fold under pressure. So I'm gonna have to take the Mavs as a Laker fan, right? I can't see the Celtics winning another one, bro. So I'm gonna take the Mavs in 7.
You know what's funny, man? This ain't even my sport, but I just want to see the Mavs lose because I don't know if you know, and we could stay on this subject. I don't mean to segue, but with the Logan and Jake being the fucking fight since Mike pulled out, and they're Mavericks, dog. Jake's Mavericks, homie. They gotta go down, G. I'm sorry. I'm for Celtics, dog.
Nah, that's cool. Again, I mean, if the Celtics win, I'm not too mad about it, but I don't know. I prefer to not see them win. Again, I don't really like any Boston teams. But yeah, I piggyback off what you said, definitely, bro. The Celtics, they can never come through. Like, they never finish the job.
Yeah.
They've had arguably the easiest road to the final.
Facts.
Every team that they had to face and beat, they were all injured teams. They didn't have a complete roster. And then someone can argue that the Celtics didn't have Porzingis, which, he's a big factor to the team. He fucking makes them a better team. But, you take away Porzingis, you still got Derek White. You still got fucking Jason Tatum. You still got Jaylen Brown, fucking Al Horford. They still got a solid squad. A lot, like, who do they play? The Bucks, right?
The Bucks.
If I'm not, oh no, did the Bucks beat the Pacers? No, the
No,
Bucks
the
beat
Pacers.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
played
the
the
Bucks.
Pacers.
They beat the Pacers recently, but you know that wasn't the best looking squad. You know, the Pacers also were beating injured teams. So, you know, it just looked like a super easy route to
it's a
get
bunch
to the
of
final.
handicap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked like a super easy route to get to the finals. You know, all respect to the Mavs. As much as I don't like them this season, much respect to them, bro. They fucking came out and did their thing. I didn't expect them to beat the Timberwolves that easily, bro. To be honest.
Oh, experience, bro. Like, I think you have somebody who's been there before. You have somebody like Kyrie who a lot of people can say, you know, really kind of saved that championship for LeBron when they played the Warriors, right? Like, Kyrie came in clutch during that run to the title. So Kyrie's been there. Kyrie's been that dude. And, you know, Kyrie's been through a lot of adversity, so he can handle the pressure. So I don't think the young Timberwolves have anybody on the team, bro, that's really been under that pressure. Obviously, Ant-Man is just coming into his own. You know, he's 22 years old, super young, going to be a superstar for many years, right? But just like Jordan, right? I know a lot of people want to compare him to Jordan, but Jordan lost a lot in the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
Jordan lost for like 7 years before he was able to win his first chip. So, you know, this is take it in stride.
What city are they from? That Timberwolves one. Where are they from?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. You betting on this one?
On this series?
The Pacers the
Celtics and Mavs? Yeah. I gamble.
That's right.
Duh.
DJing, fool. You don't even care who wins. That's right.
I be gambling on Korean baseball, dog.
Bro. Yo, that's crazy, son.
I think you have a problem, bro.
No, hey, relax,
I think
bro.
we
Why
have
you
to have
being
an
negative,
It's
dog?
not a problem.
Nah,
You have to have an
fool.
intervention, G.
Hey, bro.
Korean baseball?
The only problems in life are your perspective, G. He's got a healthy perspective. You happy, right?
Nah, yeah.
Yeah, see, he
Shit.
doesn't quit, dog. He's not gonna
That's
not
true.
bet because
He's
some
gonna
teams he
hit.
don't give a fuck about.
You know, you lose one day, the next day you gonna make it back.
You double it up,
hit,
double,
yeah.
put your money back in, double up, and get it back. You'll be alright.
Even if you don't make it back, just tell people, oh yeah, I broke even.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's right.
I'm down 500.
That's crazy.
I'm down 500. I broke even. It's all
Yeah, don't
good.
worry about it. My son's tuition's gone, but he'll sell lemonade.
You'll sell them.
Nah,
crazy,
man.
son.
But what's up, bro? Let's jump into some topics here. I mean,
Definitely.
you know, for the people that are watching, I believe OG might jump in here. I'm not too sure.
Oh, yeah, he's outside on the phone somewhere.
But yeah, but let's jump into some topics, man. What do we got? You know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about that we put in the title is Mexico.
Man.
Mexico's got its first female president ever, bro.
Crazy,
How
son.
y'all feel about that?
Man, I think it's definitely a time coming, right? Like, I think obviously you've been seeing that more and more in a lot of developed countries, right? Definitely in South America. I think Germany still has a female chancellor, or female prime minister.
Prime.
But Sheinbaum, she's very educated. If you guys are fans of AMLO, Lopez Obrador, right? She is the heir apparent to him. So
no way.
she was. That's like her. That's his like. Like I said, his heir apparent, right? So he's been grooming her for this particular job for like the last 12 years. So she is highly educated. She received her PhD from UNAM. Pumas. I know you're a America fan, bro. So, but she received her education there from a Mexico institution. She received higher education and kind of ratified her thesis at UC Berkeley and in Stanford. And, you know, does come from Jewish descent. Her grandparents
The Jews are taking over, bro.
Yeah,
Chill.
her grandparents immigrated from I think Lithuania and some of those Eastern Bloc countries during the war.
Oh,
I
shit.
heard that her grandparents on her mother's side, I'm not sure where they migrated from, but they in the 1940s they went to Mexico to escape the Holocaust.
Yeah.
No way. Oh, she's built different.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's built real different. Her blood's strong.
And when it comes to like her talking about her faith, it's not something that's really been a topic for her. She is pro-Palestine, by the way. So that in itself, I know a lot of people who might not look directly into her and her background, right? Because she is of the Jewish descent, like automatically think she's a Zionist, quote unquote, right? But she has multiple times have made references to like what's happening in Palestine back back in 2009. So it's not something new. I think like her being an ecologist and being very intelligent, I guess we'll see. You know, I think you've had a lot of bloodshed in Mexico, especially when it comes to politics. Yeah. I would say that's probably the most dangerous job in Mexico is being a politician.
That doesn't play a game.
I think they've already smoked like 36 politicians this year so far.
Goddamn. Yeah. Goddamn.
It's you know you talk about like
there was a sorry I didn't mean to cut you off. There was a female politician that I think got shot like 19 times the day of or the day after that the female president was elected.
Oh,
she was the mayor of was it Ciudad de Mexico?
No, I think Chihuahua. Algo así. No, I'm not too sure specifically like where she was mayor of. Yeah. But yeah, she was.
Where they pop her at?
In Mexico.
No, but her house.
Probably just out and about, bro. Nah. I you know, my personal opinion is I always feel like when it comes to like the Mexican presidents or the presidency in Mexico, like you have to align yourself with a certain group, right? Yes, like you saw when Vicente Fox came into the fold, right? Like Chapo was able to escape 2 fucking Mexican security jails in Mexico, right?
No coincidence there.
It's not a coincidence at all. Whatsoever, right?
Not at all, bro.
You saw tons of bloodshed when Calderon became president and he waged the war, right? I always, in my humble opinion, I believe like, you know, presidents kind of pick what side they're on, right? Yeah. And that's why you see a lot of the bloodshed because the shift of power has, you know, whether you're on the same team or you're not on the same team, right? Like now somebody else has the power, right? Yeah. So you start to see that, you know, bloodshed when it comes, you know, specifically in that country. So I think it's I guess we'll see. I guess the difference here is that she has 6 years, unlike here in the States where you have 2 terms, 2 4-year terms. She has a 6-year term, but this is just a continuation of Lopez Obrador's policies. A lot of people saying she's a carbon copy of him, right? So it's going to be like
the campaign.
Yeah, 12 basically 12 years. 12 years of like that, you know, particular policy. And then her number one concern and her number one thing that she's going to be really kind of fighting for is public security. Of course.
So this was like is like Hillary Clinton following Biden.
Yeah, that's what in a different way, I guess. But yeah, I guess I can see what you're saying.
No, yeah, obviously the politics aren't the same. But what I'm talking about is when we're talking about her and over the like following him.
Because Kamala's really the president.
Yeah, because I mean they're basically the same fucking
person.
Yeah.
I think it's more. I think the analogy that I would use is more Al Gore following Bill Clinton.
Yep.
Because López Obrador is super popular in Mexico.
Yeah.
And so was Clinton here, right?
Yeah.
And then you got into Gore versus Bush, and then, you know, they stole that from Gore, right? Al Gore won that, and the Superior Court said, nah, you know what?
You're good.
You're good. No, it's okay. You have more votes than this guy, but we're going to pick the president. I'm going to pick George Bush. And then and nobody said anything after that.
Pre-selection, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it happened. So, I think like she really won, you know, I don't obviously like having conversations with my family in Mexico. Like some people are for her, some people are against her, right?
Of course.
Like, cause you had the 3 major like Mexican political parties, like back her competition. So like PRI, PRD and PAN were all backing one candidate, which wasn't her.
No way.
Yeah. Which wasn't her.
I also saw the statistic on the 36, politicians that were smoked. I believe more than 50%.
Most were in her favor.
Yeah,
they were all like that fall under her party.
Yeah. So and that's kind of like when I think of it. I guess like my base question, and this might be a little ignorant, is like what successful nations have been ran purely by a female from her own perspective, right? And that's what kind of not to say that it can't be done, but I'm more so curious, you know, like not as a prime minister, not as somebody on a board of like shared positions or whatever, but like as a straight leader. The other thing is, unfortunately, and I hate that I have to look at things this way, but I just don't really give a fuck who's the president of Mexico, dog, because of those same things. Like how you have to play the game, dog. Like if you don't play the game, you're for sure dying, right? And if you've been in any office, like to me, I look at it the same way here in America, right? We have these guys that have been in fucking office forever and haven't done a single fucking thing, and then they become president, and now I'm supposed to give a shit like they're gonna do something. But you've been in office in a government facility or a government capacity in some way for like 20 years, and you didn't do shit. Biden, right? But the thing that I would really be curious about too is, does it actually matter that you have a female president if most of what she's doing is continuing a campaign of somebody else anyways? It's like the Kamala thing, like you were saying. To me, I don't really care that Biden's president because I know that Kamala's president.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just don't see I don't see the impact of it like that, other than the fact that it's a woman. But in my mind, she's following some other dude's, carbon copy plan, as you're saying. I'm ignorant to it, right? Second is, I don't know any successful nation, not that there isn't, I could be educated on it, that it mattered that a woman ran it. And thirdly, like, dog, it's Mexico, fool. Like, look at that. What does that say when you're looking at these, like, 36 cats? What are they telling her?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a message. Like, hey, chill out, fool. Like, make sure you play ball because there's your camp. There's your camp.
No, for sure. I think you're absolutely right. It doesn't have a big impact as you would think when it's like you hear a first female president. It's
and
like,
it should.
And it does, but it does have a big impact to me in terms of like the image. What it does for other maybe kids growing up in Mexico, especially girls.
Yeah.
It gives them that extra push, maybe motivation to see somebody like that, like, wow.
Do you think those kids feel that way, though? Or do you think that they kind of know, like, oh, man, our government ain't shit. It's the cartel homies. It's the homies right here. Because those kids are getting recruited young, too, dog. Yeah. They know the game, fool. This kid's 8 years old, and he's a soldier with 4 bodies.
Oh, for sure. I guess it depends on where you grow up, probably, because there's certain areas
That's true.
of Mexico where it's not, very heavily influenced by cartel or nothing like that. So I guess it just depends on your upbringing, really. Yeah. But for the most part, I would say that I think it does better for the kids than it does bad.
Yeah. But to answer your question, does it matter if it's a woman or not? Mm-hmm. I just don't think so. I think it's the reason why is because I feel like once you get into politics, and whether you see it here at the local level or at the national level, you become a career politician.
Exactly.
And all you want to do is
play politics.
And it's not really about solving an issue, because why would people need you if you actually solve things? Like if you actually cured people, right, you wouldn't need doctors. So if you actually solve things, you wouldn't need politicians. So isn't it a little bit, and I guess I pose a question to you, is it more job security if you continue to say that you're doing something but you're not really doing anything?
Well, that's how I feel. I would feel it's literally job security. It's a way to just do something cute to kind of start, like, I don't know, just let me steal your mind for a moment, right? Like, oh, we have a female president, but like, dude, does it matter when, like, what's the problem behind who is president? Male, female, a Martian can come down. I don't give a fuck. Is the Martian going to stop the influence from this fucking cartels and all this other dark politics?
And I guess to piggyback off of
behead that fool.
Yeah, for real.
His big ass head, bro. Big ass head about it.
But to piggyback off of what Tony was saying, right? I do feel like at least from an inspirational standpoint,
like an aesthetic,
and more from like the international scene,
cool as fuck.
Like just like first, it's important for women growing up, right? Like we all have mothers, and we all some of us have sisters, and being able to kind of relay that message to them, like, you're absolutely right. We do live in a patriarchal society, and you are absolutely able to become president, to do all these things that we say you can, right? Yeah. But, kind of putting our tinfoil hat on and saying, like, well, what kind of a difference is that going to make to an organization like the cartels, right? Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you have a female president, that's not a matriarchy because she's taking orders from a man behind the scenes. It's still a patriarchy. The aesthetic of it, to your average person that doesn't really know shit beyond surface information, it might be a nice aesthetic. To anybody that goes beyond the curtain, goes beyond the baseline understanding of things, I just don't think it has any impact, right? Nah, like when I think about it, bro, these kids are 8, 11, 12. They got bodies. They're already soldiers, dog. Like, they've already lived the life of a 25-year-old criminal at that point, G. That's a boy. You think there's no girls like that? Like, these girls don't give a fuck about that. Nobody gives a fuck. It's a cute aesthetic, man. It's a cute talking point for people that probably aren't from Mexico. I would be interested in, like, what does your everyday Mexican feel about these things? Do they care? Does it matter? Does it have an impact? Because, like, when Obama went up, everybody's like, black president. He's not even our first black president if you do your fucking research, right? He's our second. But it's like, Obama. And, like, he didn't really have an impact directly on black people themselves. It was a beautiful talking point to get him there. And people had, like, good faith, and they spent their vote on faith. But, like, she's a girl. But if she's following the influence of, like the cartel, for example, like, it looks cool. But you know what else looked cool? When fucking Chapo was like, I'm just a farmer. That was a cool ass moment. It was a cool ass aesthetic.
Yeah.
But I mean, how did that benefit, right? Like, there's a lot of cool. It was cool when these motherfuckers are running around with the fucking truck and the fucking 50 cows on the truck saying, "Let this motherfucker go," right? It's a cool aesthetic that a woman's president. It just sucks because it will only matter if she can have an impact, because it doesn't help women if she's not having an impact. It's just like you're using women. Actually, like, it's a puppet, and I'm gonna dangle this thing in front of you to make it seem like it matters, but I don't give a fuck.
And go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
And I hope she does something, right? I really hope she does something when it comes to feminicide. Like, you know, the fact that, you know, our women in Mexico are being abducted, killed, you know, maimed, and, you know, sold into slavery, right? Like, there's definitely needs to be something done about it. And I really hope her being the first female president, right, really takes that to heart.
Yeah.
I love her opening speech, right, saying, like, you know, not, this isn't just me, right, but all the women that came before me, right, like, you know, growing up, you know, seeing my mom and my grandparents and my grandmother, right, like, definitely they you know, lived in a society where they never believed like this could ever happen. So from that perspective, like, I applaud her, and I really hope that things change. But if we're really putting our tinfoil hat on, I think that the problems that Mexico has a lot to do with the United States and less with Mexico.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Because what is it? What is the cartel really selling, right?
And who are they selling to?
And who are they selling to? They're selling a bunch of resources, right? Because they are commandeering like avocados and trees, and obviously for lumber. But like, there's an insatiable amount of requests here for all different types of drugs, right? And we're smuggling guns back into Mexico, making the problem 20 times worse. So we're like siblings here, right? Like, you know, definitely their issues have a lot to do with the issues that we have here. So like, I disagree with you of like, how important is it? Because it's really important, because it affects both of us on each side.
Yeah, but it's only important to the fact that it's done. That's something, to be honest, like, the only thing she could do is guarantee herself death, and that will be the only outcome of something that matters. Because it's only a tangible, impactful, or important moment, or impactful moment, right? Is if she actually, why does it matter that she's a woman? Because she's the first one. Therefore, she should help the women population to some extent. If not, it doesn't really matter whether you're male or female. You're just a president. Move gender out the way. If we're going to highlight gender, then what is the impact of her gender, right? Secondly, it doesn't matter if she just plays lock and key, like lockstep, right? She just moves in the path of everything else. She just does the same old bullshit. It wouldn't matter if fucking Trump became president again, if he does the same shit Biden did. It's just Trump as president, right? What you do is what makes it matter, not the fact that you're a woman, not the fact that there's an aesthetic for anything, because that's politics. Politics is all playing at your heartstring from one aesthetic or from one speech. We voted Obama in because he was black. We voted this guy in because he wasn't part of the Trump, because he wasn't part of the system. We vote people based off ideological reasons, but it only matters, and we're only not wrong if we're right about that purpose, right? To me, when I look at that situation, I don't know. I want it to matter. I hope it matters, but I just don't think it does, because, like, to what you're saying, bro, it's not like we're brothers. It's like we're enablers to each other. Right? If you look at Obama was a meaningful president. It was a president that was the first black president, bro. There was so much meaning and aesthetic behind him. We did it off faith. What was the slogan for Obama? I can't remember it, man, but he had a slogan, bro. Like change, or it was
I don't remember.
Right, but he had a slogan which was literally about change to some extent. And what happened? Not a fucking thing. To your point, he was the guy that created Operation Need for Speed, where we're literally selling and buying guns across the fucking border with the cartel. You look at the fucking, what is it, the new generation cartel? Look at the video they posted. Those are all American fucking boots, American guns, American Humvees, going as far as they can. Change we need, right? And change, yes. That and hope, bro. Like, that was the motto. That was the talking point. That was the aesthetic to get you to buy in. Change, right? We're gonna do something. Nothing fucking happened, dog.
I understand. I definitely see your point of view. I think I can agree with you on a lot of points, and I think I agree with you on a lot of points on the importance of it. I think off rip, I feel like it looks important, and I think it kind of is, just because of the simple fact that, you know, if you were paid any attention to the election, it was the two main candidates were both female. You know, so to me that was pretty impressive. Like, wow, you know, like, that's pretty cool to see that. You know, I've never seen that. You know, and then like he was saying, just the way that the impact that it has, I think is greater than what we might think, just because of the simple fact that it is a female, and especially coming from Mexico, they did it before even we did.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys.
That's pretty fucking crazy. And if you were to ask me, I would have never ever imagined. Like if you would have told me that Mexico would have a female president before we did, I would probably laugh at you.
Literally,
no way,
same.
No shot.
Us,
and it's the fact that it's happened is fucking, to me, is dope. It's impactful. But I do agree with you that on the part where it's like, I hope she does come in and make a change, and I hope she does come in and she makes a name for herself, and she puts a stamp on the fucking the presidency in Mexico, and she makes people like, wow, like she came and she created this whole movement, because she's already done that just for the simple fact by being in office. So now it's just like, you got to make something happen.
And if she's doing it, she's taking a risk if she's doing it for the right reason. And just to clarify one thing, I have my feelings and my pessimism toward the situation, but I will hang my hat on being hopeful toward the situation. I want her to do good. I want that because, to your point, bro, like, we're Latinos, we're like machismo, all this shit. We're the last fucking guys that should have ever put a president first. And what does that say about America, that we don't have one here? That's a crazy thought. So I'm gonna put my heart and my hope and hang my hat on, I hope this is good and whatnot. But in the back of my mind, I am a bit pessimistic. And to your point also, like, you could be right. This girl, it doesn't matter what she does, she could inspire a little girl that's coming up and could make the change. You don't know what's coming 20 years in the future, right? So to your point.
And to I guess to kind of move from topics, but to really piggyback off what you were saying is, like, I wish her all the best, right? Like, she's highly educated, she's overqualified to say the least, right? Because some of the politicians that you see here, I'm just like, man, you guys can't count to 10 and can't rub two pennies together.
Oh, you mean she's right? Damn.
Yeah, she's a doctor, bro. She is very well qualified. She's very educated. She has been speaking politics. She has been having these conversations since she was very young. So had a good opportunity the last couple of days after she was elected, really to kind of get to know her, right? Get to know her policies. I'm like, look, I definitely understand the pessimism, because every single politician, irregardless of where they come from, what they represent, always end up doing the same things. And that's where the traumas come from, right? That's where probably
Salvador.
That's where some of your pessimism comes from, like everybody kind of following the same suit. Like, I wish her nothing but the best. I'm like, I think it's monumental that the first female president here in North America happens to be in Mexico.
I love that,
and that we're making the change from this machismo culture and this kind of patriarchal culture to maybe something more in the middle, right? But I guess the one thing I will say, and I will ask, and I will like kind of highlight to like the women out there who are watching our show, is like, we are allies. Like, our people of our generation, right, had nothing to do with a lot of these laws and a lot of these things that were set way before we were even born and introduced, right? So like, we definitely feel you. We definitely are like I said, we know we are on your side. It's just we're up here having these conversations. But moving on to another political topic, how would you guys feel of having the first president of the United States who's a felon?
It's fucking gangster, dog.
Sick ass fool, dog. He got
gangster.
Bro, I because he's a felon, I want to vote twice.
Nah, but shit, that is crazy. What is that fucking? He had what, 34 counts of felony, right? Fool, 34, 37.
34. I think 34 counts.
Right? Damn, fool.
Sick ass fool, dog. Just racking up cases, G.
That is crazy, dog. And
your boy don't got 37 cases on him. Fuck out of here, fool.
Bro.
Big Trump, G, for Prezi.
It's crazy to say, man, but I think I really do anticipate him being the first felon to be president of the United States.
Prezi for president,
I don't see anybody changing their minds about him. I'll tell you that much. Everybody that I know that is behind him and is just full blast support. Well, nobody feels away because of he's a felon now.
Nah, bro, because we know the deal.
Well, I guess I'm voting in a fucking felon.
The worst part, bro, is that Biden came before Trump came again, because we saw Biden and everybody that was on Biden because Trump was so bad, they turned, bro, 2 years in. They're like, man, fuck this fool. We fucked up.
Exactly.
Right? We should have kept that fool Trump in there. So now you gave this fool a felony or whatever. Does it matter? Because the rest of the world's looking at it like, bro, low key, like, let's get Sleepy Joe out of here, fool. He's falling asleep while signing fucking bills, G.
Man, to your point, I think everybody's made up their minds at this point, right? Do you guys feel like white collar crimes and blue collar crimes? First of all, like I feel like they're treated completely differently, right? Where if he was out here beating people up, right? Or doing things like Diddy was doing, right?
Yeah,
like, would you feel the same way about Trump that you do if he was, you know, not doing the white collar crimes or the financial crimes?
No, I wouldn't fuck with Trump if it came out that he's beating fucking girls up, especially in a towel in a hotel and his toupee's falling all over the spot. No, I think that I wouldn't do that. I think that what they're doing for my ability to accept him with felony or not, because the real question is, and I don't know this, can you be president with the felony? I would think you couldn't, but hey, you know, maybe something to figure out. But I don't really care because I understand this was a slander campaign and it's been this way since he was running, right? So I don't know, man. If it was a real crime like that we found out, then I'd be like, yeah, maybe it's not worth. I like the guy. I want him over whoever is running, right? But maybe I don't want that to be the standard moving forward. You know what I mean? If he had a real case, because I wouldn't want to find out he's snorting lines in the Oval Office, or you know what I mean? I mean, sick ass fool, but like, you know, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want to find out he's beating the fuck out of girls. Like, it's shit like sexual harassment. I wouldn't want that to be okay for anyone moving forward. The Teflon Don has a unique position because of when he came and what he's doing, but I don't think you want that to be your standard.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, I think you're right. It depends on what it is that he was doing, bro. And I mean, you know, the cases that I guess he's got going on is nothing too crazy for anybody to be like, man, well, fuck this fool.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want him here.
And you know why they're doing it.
Yeah, of course, bro. It's just to, you know, try and fucking destroy him, destroy his name. That way, I think it's just to not get him to be able to run at all.
That's it. That's all. They're just trying to get him out.
Just get him out of the conversation because he's up right now.
He's a threat,
sure.
G.
He's up right now. There's no way.
Yeah, y'all
there's
broke.
no
He's
way
up.
that the American public in general prefers Biden over Trump right now.
Nobody.
You know, and you know, speaking for somebody who's obviously, I'm not like super one-sided to either side. I'm fucking super open to having conversations about anything, you know?
Yeah.
And from what I'm looking at, the conversations that I have with people, I don't dig deep into politics with my homies and shit like that. But when I talk to the older homies or older people, you know, or people like us who like to have these conversations, I can't think of one person that has been like super about Biden, bro.
Nope.
Like, I just can't. I can't say like, oh yeah, this person, you know, they said that they're pro Biden this because this and this, and I can agree with it fully. There's just no way, bro.
I feel like one thing that we mentioned on one of the previous podcasts, and that you mentioned, philosopher, was people are like one issue voters,
one policy
right?
voters,
one policy voters, one issue voters. And the number one question I hear a lot when we're having either a discussion or a debate of who you're gonna vote for is, are you better now than you were 4 years ago?
Thank you.
And and for most people, it's economically. Are you in a better economic position today than you were 4 years ago? And that could be different when it comes to, you know, where you live, what state you live in, right? What city you're in, right? Because you have a lot of local, state taxes, federal taxes, so on and so forth, right? But the number one question I'm going to pose to you guys is, are we in a better position now than we were 4 years ago?
No. That's an easy no.
That's
an easy no.
Hell no.
You want to know one of my favorite examples about Trump, man? And this is going to get a little conspiratorial, so whenever y'all feel like the tinfoil is on too much, you let me know. Anytime in general. So if you look at ISIS, ISIL, Al-Nusra, Al-Qaeda, Hamas, just go down the fucking list of this terrorist organization we've seen in the Middle East. It only existed underneath like government, what do they say? A democracy, giving democracy to other nations, right? Every single one was financed by us. Every single one was backed by us. It's the same exact organization that was just passed on for every president, for every issue, for every time we needed to go in there, we changed the name. That's all we did. We changed the name, so it's a new boogeyman and people get confused. When you think about it, bro, the one thing I loved about Trump, man, and I was very cautious about him at first because I'm like, it's just if I have to choose between, somebody said this the other day in a meme and I loved it. They said, hey, if you have to choose between two evils, Hillary or Biden or Trump, and somebody has a gun to your head, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to let the gun go off. Right. That's kind of how I felt when it first started. I didn't really want one or the other. But when Trump won me over was in the first 4 fucking months when he bombed the fucking Iranian general who was in like Iraq, or the Iraqi general who was in Iran. I forget which one it was, to smithereens. And we never heard for 4 fucking years about any terrorist organization at all. I was bought and sold in. Right. When he came up and they had the debate with Hillary Clinton and he was talking about tax evasion and they tried to put it on him. And he was like, well, yeah, of course I do. Everybody does it. Ask Hillary. He was being very honest about something, you know, and that is what bought me over. You know, so to me, yeah, there's a difference. Opportunity zoning, right? That helped the
It's kind of
the
like
ghetto.
it's kind of like you want somebody to do something that you might not like, but tell you about it and
Straight
tell
up.
you they did it, or somebody do it behind your back
Well,
type of thing.
two things. Yeah, exactly, right? I
Yeah.
want that open honesty. And the second thing is, if you're president, I just want you to do at least one thing, dog. Just do one fucking thing. That's it. One thing. Because presidents don't do shit. They post all kinds of shit out there. They go back. Their cabinet tells them that was a beautiful speech and that was really good. They like you. Let us tell you what we're going to do now, because you're just a guy that talks, right? The cabinet really is the people that make and that's what I hope is Trump's new cabinet is going to hold him down, because we saw what Pence did at the end and just dogged him, right?
Yeah.
So to me, man, like, it was a little bit better, I would think. I don't know how much better. And I would argue that your governor probably has more of an impact on your day-to-day life than your president.
I think where I see the big difference from here to 4 years from now, to answer your question, Frankie, is like financially. Like the amount of people that I see struggling now is crazy, bro. And, you know, I think about, you know, I know a lot of people who own small businesses.
Oh, you mean those PPPs didn't fucking make us rich and help America out? Fuck, dog, my fault. Oh, damn, G.
No, yeah, I look back and I know a lot of people who own small businesses, you know, where they you know, they try to do their own little thing on the side aside from what they got going on, 9 to 5s or whatever it is. You know, the financial difference is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's almost like people are just struggling just to get by nowadays.
I mean, look at the rioting too. That was it's measurably worse under Biden.
Man,
you know what I mean?
And the reason why I bring this up, right, because I was reading a Bloomberg article where the majority of middle-class Americans say they struggle financially. Almost 2/3 of Americans considered middle class said that they are facing economic hardship and don't anticipate a change for the rest of their lives.
You know why I say they're wrong? They're not facing economic hardship. They're facing economic extinction. And they don't understand that. The middle class has been trying to be eradicated for so long, G. And now we're at that point where it's like, oh, wait. Oh, it is happening.
Yeah, I've read and heard about that too, where it's like they just wanted to be fucking filthy rich and really fucking poor.
Haves and have-nots.
They don't want people to be in the middle.
Nope.
They don't want that shit.
No, they don't want people to be able to climb up and be those. I want to be able to establish who are the haves. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't want an opportunity for anybody to go from low to high, to sit at my table, to be my neighbor. No, you don't get to sit here in this gated community. In fact, Agenda 21, we're going to stack and pack you guys.
Yeah, that's one thing that I see a lot of people. So a lot of people are super concerned about, you know, and not to say that it's not going on, because I seen some shit today like about racism and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that shit happens every day, but I feel like in terms of like the bigger picture, it's not so much about race, bro. It's literally
It's class.
Financial problems, bro. Like class. It comes down to economics, bro. Like they don't. It's not about black versus white, brown versus white, brown versus black. It's about poor versus rich, dog, and that's becoming a really, really bad issue. Like bad.
It's like
Look
India.
at Disneyland, bro. Disneyland is trying to buy the fucking the housing units right behind. You know, like they're trying to eradicate something like that just to expand their wealth, bro. Just so they want to get rid of people. You know, people who go. What is it called? When it's like they go based off your income, I believe.
Yeah, it's not Section 8, affordable housing.
Affordable housing, bro. Like they're trying to get rid of these people who are living here. You know, they're able to afford it, just so rich motherfuckers can come and enjoy more land, more of Disneyland.
The people that are on the fence about to not have nothing and hopefully have a slight moment to maybe have a little bit. You want to get rid of that?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Like I see where your attention is, right? But yeah, man, I mean, you look at India, bro, it's all classism, right?
And to mention that, right, I think kind of piggybacking off of both of you guys' opinions, it's, man, and Trump kind of said this, right, and it was a rhetoric that he kind of led with, was like draining the swamp.
I love that.
And I, you know, had just like kind of Gil, you know, having that personal story with like the city council where it's not profitable to fix problems.
No.
And you have all this bureaucratic red tape and all these loopholes and all these things that you have to jump through, right, to get anything done. No. And, you know, in the city that I'm from and you know, the places that I know you guys are from, right, like it kind of boggles my mind when nothing ever gets done, right? Like you just continue to feed money into something and nothing gets done. And you look at the people that are elected, right? Like I said, they can't count 1 + 1. They can't rub 2 pennies together. And these are the people that are elected to make monumental decisions that are going to affect you not only today, but like for probably the rest of your lives or the next decade.
Or your kids.
Or your kids, or your kids' kids, right? So how much of a problem do you think, not only when it comes to like from the top end, because we're viewing it that, you know, president comes in and he has all the power in the world, but a lot of these individuals that are politicians are career politicians,
Yeah.
and have been politicians for 30, 40 years.
Which, mind you should never be a career politician. You're not supposed to make a career out of politics, dog. Like, that's what you don't do, right? You're supposed to create a service. This is a service for the people.
But whose fault is that?
Ours. It's always our fault. Everything wrong with America is
Corporate
our
America.
fault. Well, no, it's our fault, right? Because the Second
We've allowed it
Amendment
to
is
happen.
there to allow us to say, you know what, we're not doing this no more. And they're like, well, we're not going to let you. And then we say, oh, you're not? Well, let's fucking strap up and fight this tyrannical government. That's the whole point. The First Amendment, being able to speak on my issues, being able to argue, I forget the term exactly, my government. It's there for a reason. There were checks and balances created in our fucking literal fucking paper, right? Our literal scroll of the whole nation, our Bible. It was created to make sure these things didn't happen. And the only way to make sure it doesn't happen is if we, the people, which is the biggest first fucking line. It all stems from we the people. America was founded on we the people looking at our government and saying, fuck that. Let's go together. Let's create a new spot where we all have the right on how we live. Let's segregate it to like 50 whatever fucking states. That way we can choose, you know what? I don't really like the way this runs. Let me go next door. Right?
Yeah.
That's the point of the whole fucking thing. When you lose that ability for we the people to sit down and dictate what they do and don't like, that's why you're supposed to elect your politics. But it's more so like there's a selection of politics, not an election. It's called the illusion of inclusion, right? Like, you think you're part of this, you're not part of this, dog. It's the illusion that you are. It's our fault all these things happened. It's our fault that we didn't notice when the federal government, when the Federal Reserve, which is not federal nor reserves anything, came in and took over our currency. We are supposed to be the watchdogs. We are supposed to be at the gate. We are supposed to sit down. That's why we vote. That's the point. You know, from bills to presidents, it's supposed to be us.
100%. I agree, bro. And I think it just comes out down to a lot of like, you know, again, not to put on the tinfoil hat too tight, but
put it on tight.
Fucking, you know, it comes down to them just scaring the fuck out of the population, bro. Like, you know, they put a lot of the population in so much fear that people are just rather not question it. People rather not just talk about it. They're just going to trust whatever the government has to say and whatever they say is right. You know, and I think the biggest time that we saw that happen, I would probably believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I would say after 9/11. After 9/11 is when people just kind of just gave themselves up. Like, okay, I'm going to put my trust in your hands, and whatever you guys say is good for me, I'm going to just believe that.
Well, that was something that we obviously didn't get an opportunity to vote on.
Yeah.
Something that was passed, you know, unanimously through the House and the Senate, right? Which is the Patriot Act.
Yes.
Yeah.
That we didn't bat an eye to giving up all of our civil liberties up, right? And said, yes, please, government, protect us from all the mean terrorists that are coming over here and bombing X, Y, and Z, right? And we want to give you all of our data. We want to really kind of embolden and empower some of these, like the alphabet boys, right?
Yeah.
And want to give them as much free reign and as much power. But, you know, what's this thing that we mentioned here multiple times? Like, you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely.
So the thing about it is that as soon as Bush or as soon as Trump, as soon as, you know, Obama are out of office, guess who gets to stay there for a lifetime of, somebody in the chat said a lifetime of career of service, right?
Yes, sir.
So guess who gets to stay there, right? Directors of CIA, directors of NSA, directors of FBI, right? Blackwater, all these individuals that make a career you know, in intelligence and make a career in all of, you know, a lot of these different, you know, agencies.
And you know what that's called, dog? The Hegelian dialect. Right? Problem, reaction, solution. So I create the problem, you react to it the way I wanted you to, and then I bring the solution in myself. Right? And then what do? You give me everything. You give me your privacy. You give all your power up for security for the problem that I created. Right? That's the old school Hegelian dialect. You want to know where we learned that from? Hitler.
Damn.
I mean, think about how World War II started. The Reichstag burned, which was their parliament. Then we found out they burnt their parliament. And who did they blame? The Jews. Right. But to that point, and there's something, quick note. Did you guys see what happened with Blackwater?
No, Which one? What part? The one that they're trying to start a new stock exchange in Texas?
Bro, well, that probably ties into this. You realize, okay, so Blackwater pretty much had ownership in every company on the market, right?
Are they they're the ones that have like ownership like Bitcoin and
And
shit
everything,
like
dog. And
They have their
if
foot in
if you look
yeah.
up like any stock, any market you want, right? In any fucking company, any stock, they're like the
Ties
number
back
one
to-
holders. Number one holders them. If you go look right now, they're nowhere to be seen.
So what, they just selling their shares?
Why do you think that is?
Oh, bro, I think for one of two
Something
reasons,
big
right?
is coming.
Or maybe they're making something big come, right? So I think that one of two things is occurring. Again, tinfoil hat. I believe we're in a end time, right? And I believe that the end time, it's not a short period of time. It's not like people. If you believe in the Bible and the Revelation
I was about
version,
to ask, is your end time biblical?
so this is what I was saying. My perspective of the Bible is not a traditional perspective of the Bible, right? So I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. I was a Christian, a Catholic, then I became a Hebrew Israelite, then I became an agnostic, because I understand the molding of the Bible, right? And that's a whole podcast in and of itself. So what the easiest thing I can say is that my perspective of the Bible is slightly different than fucking most, right? Thanks, dog. Yeah, literally Blackwater. What does that say real quick? BlackRock, sorry.
Citadel.
Yeah. But yeah, to your point, what I believe is that the time frame in the Bible when it's given in Revelations isn't literal. It's a measure of units. So when it says 7 years, it's not 365 days times 7, right? There's just it teaches you how to teach. What you'll learn in the Bible is it says precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, right? And again, a whole breakdown. So there's a way to understand these things. From my perspective, I do believe we're in an end time. The reason why I believe we're in an end time is because when you look at all the people that run the world and the people we all know are evil, they have a faith. They believe in a thing. Just look at what the thing is and understand that if you identify them as negative or evil, the opposite must be true.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the opposite?
Well, yeah. If there's good, there's evil.
Of course, because there cannot be one without the other. And they're clearly evil. They clearly worship these fucking old Baals and these old gods. Whether or not it's right or wrong, they have enough. And they're the people that took all the history, hid everything, have all the knowledge, have all the understanding. So if the people are withholding everything, sit down and they worship this evil entity, either A, your understanding of who is good and who is bad is off, or B, they do truly believe in an evil and are owned by an evil. Therefore, the opposite must exist. The other point is, my question would be, you look at what happened with Napoleon. He's a perfect example, right? What happened with the stock market? Napoleon, was it Rockefeller or Rothschild during the time?
It was Rothschild.
Probably
Rothschild, right? So the Rothschilds basically were part of both the English Empire and I think was it the Byzantine? Who were they fighting? Or is it French? They were fighting somebody. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they basically, the Rothschilds, was it? Because I feel like it was J.D. Rockefeller.
Nah, it's the Rothschilds.
Was it Rothschild?
They've been around for centuries.
Well, both have.
So have
Yeah,
the
both have,
Rockefellers.
you're right.
Right. So, well, either
I
way,
they
think it
finance
might be
both
the
sides.
Rockefellers.
they finance both sides,
the
right?
Rothschilds
well, one
finance
had a
both sides.
cousin, right? The guy who came up with the plan had a cousin, and the cousin was the one that financed the other side. So he basically said Napoleon lost the war, which was not true. Their economy tanked. Everybody started selling, which meant that your stock was selling for pennies to the dollar at that point, right? So then they came in, bought everything up. Napoleon did not lose; he won. So now they owned a huge stake in both nations, right?
Yeah.
They basically owned the market on both. To me, I wouldn't be surprised because we see how everybody's doing these deep underground bases, these celebrities, these politicians. For the past 5-10 years, they've been moving to New Zealand. They've been moving all around. They've been setting up all these things. You have ARK, which is the large seed vault. So either A,
These motherfuckers are trying to move to the moon.
Mars.
I think they know there's nowhere
They're
to
trying
go.
somewhere.
I think you can't go nowhere else. I think they're going deep in the ground for a reason. They're not leaving. They're going in for a reason. And if you look at human history, we have all these huge taverns underground for all for reasons, right?
Yeah.
What I think is either A, they understand that something bad is coming, like maybe a natural event, maybe a polar shift, maybe some type of conspiratorial event on that end. Maybe there's an uprising coming. Maybe they're going to create something to create a whole new world, like a false alien invasion, right? Or maybe God is coming, homie. Maybe the roosters are coming. I don't know.
I think before we see that, I think we'll see a civil war.
100%.
And reason being
Yeah, that's
is
what I was gonna say. I feel like if anything's gonna happen, it's gonna be that.
But you know it doesn't happen off 1 year. It's a slow process.
Oh no, for sure.
Right? And you don't think that you're seeing like the birthing pains of civil war since Me Too, since BLM, since all these organizations coming up to fight?
bro, look at this, right? I don't know if you guys out there in the chat and out there who are watching really this information just came out today, but BlackRock and Citadel backed Texas stock market in challenge of New York Stock Exchange.
It's crazy.
So what does that mean? So that means that we're going to have two central competing. You have these competing stock exchanges, right? Where it's like the financial hub of the world, right? At least here of the United States is in New York. And now you're splitting that to the south. And now you're creating a north-south divide again.
Sounds like you want to collapse.
It sounds like you're taking a side. It sounds like you're just like, you know what? Like, you guys can keep what you have over there. We're gonna start our own thing over here.
And what happens when?
Frank?
Huh?
Who you riding with?
Oh, BlackRock G.
Bro, man,
BlackRock G.
I like Texas better than New York. I lived out there in the East Coast for 3 years. Look, I love New York. I love the food. I love the culture. It's different. It's fast.
You want to be a winner or a loser, dog? That's what I want to know. You want to be a winner or a loser?
Texas got the guns, bro. Texas got the guns.
Straight up.
New York got the money.
Yeah, give me the mark of the beast, G, right here, dog. Plant it, fool. Let's keep it pushing. BlackRock. I said it here. Don't kill me.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the fact that anybody even has a financial power to do that.
How can you do that?
It's just fucking crazy.
How can you do that, right? And how did you get the financial power? Through the fucking existing market. So it's the same story. It's the same shit. I'm going to use one market to create another market. Like, bro, you're just consuming it all, dude. Yeah. It's like your New World Order bullshit. You have aliens and all this stupid shit. Go fuck yourself, bro. There's no alien here.
And it's crazy, bro, because, you know, I feel like it's something that a lot of our people get left out of.
100%.
For the simple fact that we're not educated on these things.
100%.
You know, a lot of people don't know about these things, or they see these things and they seem to not care.
Well, but we're actually not. We're some of the strongest people when it comes to religion. I would think we're the hardest to move. You know where they got us? Our Pope. Our Pope is how they got us. And that's why they'll win, right? Because they understood to put a fucking, what is he? He's
Francis?
a Jesuit. Yeah, he's a Jesuit. Go look up the history of Jesuits. They were fucking assassins, dog. They were murderers. They ran around. That's where your fucking crusades come from and all this bullshit. Dog, there was a whole prophecy on the popes. He's the last pope from the whole prophecy. Every pope has been, bro, if you want to look up some shit that's going to blow your fucking mind, the one prophecy that was to a T, and there's hundreds of them laid out in one, it was the prophecy of the popes. And to me, bro, the timing is very ironic because what is happening all simultaneously at once? And this is scary. There's like this unholy trinity occurring at once. And that's the thing that has been slowly kind of bringing religion back in my mind, right? You have this fucking alien bullshit going on. It's clear they're trying to condition us to accept aliens and an invasion, right? Yeah. It's almost becoming fun.
It's a blue beam.
Thank you. All day, dog, right?
Project
Blue Beam. You want to go further? Werner von Braun, one of his last things he said on his deathbed is God is real, and also they're going to do a false alien invasion. All right, G. So you have this alien invasion coming up, which was, I mean, what did fucking, who was our best? JFK say? Yeah. The one thing that can bring all nations together across the world is an invasion from another fucking world, dog. Okay, so if you create it false, what do you have? A unified fucking world government where one world government, which is already your fucking what is the UN, which is your United Nations, G? That's the birthing pains of a new world order. You have all nations going together to agree and to dictate things, which should
and
never
the only
happen.
few that are left out are the ones that don't agree with the central banking system.
My guy, thank you. Right? Okay, so then you have this Bitcoin, these central currencies, because the USD was an attempt to make a unified currency, but unfortunately we have no intrinsic value into it, and it would have tanked anyways. Even if it succeeded, it would have to tank. Ironically enough, Bitcoin comes in. What's happening? The banks are trying to accept this non-centralized currency into a centralized currency, and if that can be used all across the world, what is the UN doing right now? Saying that oil can be bought in everything else other than dollar bills, which before you could not buy it in anything other than USD. So our currency is destabilizing. There's clearly a potential for a unified fucking currency across the globe. And then you have all these chips that people are putting in currently where you can just scan everything. Your phone can be all your cards together. Everything is unifying. Man is becoming part of machine, which can, how do you know that doesn't take parts of your consciousness out? Everything occurring right now, and there's a holy war going on. Everything occurring right now, it's all stacked up where these are all the things that could lead to that. If an alien invasion comes down, what's going to happen? Oh, help. Drone strikes are going to come down disguised as laser beams, G.
Yeah.
And you're going to run to the government to help you. because they can send voices out to your brain with Elf. You have Harp, where I can create all kinds of shit, dog. Like, come on, dog. What are we doing right now? How do you not see it?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think it's something that people, obviously don't take everything we're saying like complete 100% truth. But I think just it's just things that people need to, people should hear these conversations or have these conversations, bro, because you just never know. And it's something to think about, even like what you brought up about the Texas stock market, like that might not even tie into that, but that might be something really important, whether it's something that's going to be bad or whether it's something that's going to be good. And if it's something that's going to be good, how do we get involved?
Well, what happens if they crash it?
Like, exactly. Yeah.
But I guess I want to bring something up. Cesar Lopez over here in the chat, just talking about, making investments into the stock market, right? And he's absolutely correct where a lot of Latinos and our people, right, aren't really educated or don't have that access to information or don't make themselves available to access information to really know how those markets work, right? But I saw an interesting stat where the stock market hasn't lost. Only time the stock market lost was during 2008, right? When they had that stock market crash and all those things, right? Yep. But since the 1930s, right, they've made double-digit gains throughout every single decade, right?
On par with the Feds, gee.
On par with the Feds. And if for not giving any information out there or advice to make any type of investments, but
buy now.
Yeah, but definitely
please buy now.
Investing in things like the S&P and the Nasdaq, right? It's better to put your money in vehicles that are going to gain money with time. And a lot of these losses that you can write off, a lot of things that you can do. I think if for people who are in the chat who want to get educated, I'm like, there's so much information out there to get educated, whether it's YouTube, or, reading, literature. But, Cesar, thank you for really bringing that up, because it definitely, people really need to get their hands on this information when it comes to the stock market.
And just to your point, bro, you don't even have to research that hard. You want a perfect example? During COVID, what was the best investment you could have made? Anything in the medical field. Because what happens is people panic, right? If AI came out today and did some wild shit and all of a sudden you started seeing the tech market drop, I can guarantee you one thing. Well, two things. First of all, the market will always correct itself. It will always correct itself. It will never lose. It will always balance out. So if you're able to buy a guaranteed stock like Johnson & Johnson took a dip, you should have known it wasn't staying there. They're not going to let that fail, bro. They're just trying to get you to freak out, sell everything. That way they come back, buy it all up, and then they retain more power. This is how they create a monopoly without literally creating a monopoly, right? So for me, Warren Buffett said it, and he's probably one of the best people to take your financial advice from, even if he's an evil fuck, right? Never let a good crisis go to waste. If I notice that we're going to war and we're losing a war and all of a sudden our ammunition is tanking or whatever the subject is, watch the market. Technology will never go away. The medical field will never go away. There's certain things that will never go away. And when they take a dip, that will always be your sign to buy. Every time. Because I promise you they're all doing it. You want to know something? Nancy Pelosi, there's a website that tracks every investment she makes.
No way.
Just go follow it. You'll be all right.
You seen that motherfucker that made all that money off GameStop?
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Dude, GameStop AMC, bro. Come on.
The homie made a
Wall Street bets.
gang of money on AMC, a couple grand, bro.
Bro,
like
during that time, you know what's funny? So the market actually does reflect the brick and mortar stores. Because if you went, every day I was pulling in $300 to $400, going to any fucking GameStop, buying all their consoles on sale, all their really good games that were on sale, because they were freaking. The company was freaking out, bro. I was buying Xboxes at like $120. Going a city over, selling it to them for like 180, and I would sell them 5-6 at a time. Me and my boy Deadass just went all up and down Cali buying them, dog, cleaning up, and at the same time just buy, download TD Ameritrade, homie. Right? It's not that bad. Just know you got to pay gas.
The homie made some money off the stocks with AMC.
Oh yeah.
I know people were selling thinking like that shit's gonna be done. COVID theaters are done.
Yeah.
This and
well,
that,
Netflix was the death. No, it's not. You still got people that want to sit in a movie theater, G.
There's an evolution of everything, right?
You know how you would know that was true? If you went to your local AMC and saw nobody going.
Yeah.
If you go and you see all this drama and what people are saying, but it's still getting packed out, just know it ain't going nowhere.
It still gets packed.
Yeah, it ain't going.
Still go to the fucking AMC when the movie drops and that shit is packed.
Straight up.
But the crazy thing about it is what I'm seeing in this younger generation, Gen Z and younger, is they have an affinity for analog.
Mm-hmm.
And, like it's a trip to see, like, especially youngsters, like when it comes to, like, we have all these different types of like headphones that, you know, are wireless, AirPods and all that, but you see the majority of these youngsters wearing wired headphones
because they're smart,
right? And then wanting to buy like tapes and cassettes and, you know, and vinyls and really reveling in like that culture and the analog culture, right? So like it you know, gives me hope that a lot of those things will survive. But when it comes to just kind of overall kind of bringing everything together, when we're talking to, you know, we're talking about government specifically, I think it's more important for you to get involved with it, like your local government, your city government, 100%. Right? County government, than like talking about like the presidential election. Like, yes, you know, you're going to vote for who you're going to vote for, and then that might trickle down and affect you. But what's going to affect you is, you know, your city elections and your city.
The guy that's going to be for 10, not 4, G.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
How much of an impact can you make in 4 years? When not the next guy is going to try to undo it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you're tying a knot for the next guy to untie. So you're wondering why you're not climbing.
No, absolutely.
You know, your local government makes all the impact.
Speaking of local government, bro, somebody that we need to get the fuck up out of California is Newsom.
Oh, please.
We need to see that shit that he's trying to do now. 30 cents. They're trying to tax 30 cents a mile, I believe, that you drive.
Man, can Elon put him on Mars first? Get that motherfucker out of here.
What is it, like 0.03 cents per mile for all the EV vehicles, right? Because they're not making their tax money on gas like us stupid fools that have gas cars, right?
Fucking idiots,
but all these EVs that weren't paying gas and, you know, taxes on gas, because obviously you're charging them, right? Like now Newsom introduced a law that is gonna tax you per mile that you drive.
That's beautiful. That's really American of him. It's very American of him. We love taxes in America. Tax me for more.
Yeah, he couldn't have done something more American in taxes
that
for
all,
some
bro.
bullshit like that, bro.
Tea Party, what? My fault.
What do you think? What the fuck's the motive behind that? Like what?
Tax
money.
Money.
I know,
yeah,
but
for you
like
collecting money.
Like, okay, we know that's the real motive, but did he say why he was doing that? Like,
Man.
is there like a reason that he's telling the public, but we all know is like they want fucking
Well,
money?
I would assume that his reason is that it's just not efficient and it's not working the way that they intended it to work, and they're spending more money to have these fucking spots there than anything, blah, 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 right? That the margins aren't making sense, you know, and that would be an assumption. I mean, does it matter what the reason is, right? Because like everybody knows, even the people that trust
I know.
government,
I just want to know what kind of
Right.
bullshit he probably said.
Yeah, I would assume it was that. Did you hear anything on like a more specific?
Are they
and more
trying to
detailed?
like push people to just buy electric
They want them to go
cars?
electric for sure. They want people to go electric,
Fuck that.
right? And that even that,
my
like,
mama Lona.
please, dog, let me admit this gas. G, get the fuck out of here. I don't know, man, and I don't even see it like. I mean, what's next? You're going to have to fucking tax me to put these major heaters at your fucking gas spots where I can charge my Tesla, but it's too cold to pull the fucking energy out anyways. And I got to pay for everybody's fucking heater there to keep the electric fucking charger warm. Like, bro, it failed in every way possible. You know what I mean? It costs more to ship these fucking solar panels and all this electric shit across the states than it saves anything, bro. We spend more money. We emit more gas. Like, go look at soy farms, G. Like, everything we do in the name of like fucking the ecosystem, we do more harm every time. Like every time, without a question of a doubt, right? Like, soy farms are fucking the environment up. You can't even, once you clear that field, you can't ever grow again on it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're removing fucking actual crops that we can continuously cycle and feed America with, to put soy in for fucking vegans and to stop emissions. Like, dude, all right, so we have these electric vehicles, but now I got to pay more money to maintain it. Now, if I'm too cold, these guys are freezing in their fucking cars at these fucking charging stations when it freezes over because they can't even power their vehicle. They can't produce the energy in that freezing cold. So, I mean, I think that they're just finding an excuse to tax it. And very soon they're going to look at your phone, dog. Like, if you look at it, every time we become adapted to some type of ecosystem that they put out of us, what did they do? They took the headphones out and they took the cord out and they changed it and they took the charger, then they taxed it. But now you can lease your phone. So don't worry. I know it's expensive, but I have an option for you. Like, bro, go fuck yourself. You're doing the same thing with the cars and you're going to do it with everything, bro.
Exactly, and that becomes part of the problem that we were talking about earlier about the middle class.
What is what's like the one adage they keep mentioning, right? You will own nothing and you will be happy,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
And I could totally, obviously, here we're all wearing our tinfoil hats, and it's important to have these conversations.
But it's
right?
unfair, bro, because some people don't own anything. So you should feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a humanitarian? You don't care about people? You're a piece of shit?
Nah.
Fuck, G.
Like, it's funny, bro, like having these conversations, because coming up here with Tony, bro, is we live in a world that's so polarized, right?
Yeah.
That we can't sit there and have a conversation and meet in the middle, right? Where we might have difference of opinions, and I may not agree with every single point that you make, and vice versa, but we should be able to come together and have a conversation, find commonality, common
fuck that
ground.
fool. Lock him up for thinking different. Fuck that fool.
Find common ground, find commonality, right?
Yeah.
And be able to build upon that, right? Everybody thinks like it has to be one way or another. It has to be left, it has to be right. It has to be red, it has to be blue. And it's not that way.
No.
And we continue to push that narrative. And people don't want to have those conversations because they rather be watching all the dumb nonsense that happens in media, right? You continue to be distracted and now have these conversations with your own folk. I'm like, you don't have to listen to these conversations as long as you're having these conversations with your own people, right?
100%.
But you're not. Because you're distracted. You're distracted by the media. You're distracted by the fun and games.
Who's the enemy?
100%.
Who should I fight? Not who should I come together with? Who should I fight?
And that's, I think, more and more what I'm finding, and just in having these discussions with you guys, and having discussions like with about the Mexican president and a lot of other topics, right? Where it's like, can we meet somewhere in the middle?
Yeah.
Does it have to be left? Does it have to be right? Can we come back to the center?
You know what's the great irony? I feel like, bro, what happened in America is that there was a Trojan horse, and we were looking at all these other Trojan horses, but we didn't really realize one was being built inside of Rome. It wasn't being walked in. And what it was the uplifting of the individual and the highlighting how unique you are, right? And uplifting yourself and catering to yourself and your self. And everybody started investing in themselves. And then out of nowhere, they turned the narrative around and said, hey, when you make it all about yourself, you're a piece of shit. It's actually about everybody else. So they kind of built this false narrative up just to destroy it anyways, and then guilt you on it, right? Which goes back to like what we were just talking about, where like I know I'm joking when I'm like, you're a piece of shit, right? But if you think about it, there's no individualism, right? Everything is being told what pocket you can sit in, and then those boxes are getting smaller and smaller and smaller until there's just one, which is, I mean, George Orwell, dog. Like, if you want to know what we're going, just read George Orwell. What is it, 1984?
1984.
That's all you need. Yeah, so your phone in your pocket is your thought police, which is becoming your family. You wanted a sign of it when Trump became president, and we saw all those families turn against each other over politics. That was the birthing pains of thought police.
That's crazy, man. And that's crazy you just mentioned the phone thing, because someone mentioned in the comments earlier something about phones coming without like memory cards or SIM cards. They're going to start doing that. How the fuck is that phone going to know what the fuck to save?
They took SIM cards out of phones, didn't they?
I think iPhone still has
SIM
SIM
cards,
they
still
right?
do. Yeah, I'll be dropping that shit out every time.
Yeah,
actually.
iPhone still has SIM cards.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, how do you even go about that?
That's not it, bro. They're gonna put the phone in your hand.
Well, they're already doing all types of weird shit. Have you seen those Apple goggles, fool?
Yeah. That ain't shit, fool.
Fool,
were we
like,
talking about somebody, or was that
just
Wiz?
move your hand like this and fucking swipe to a different screen and do all types of shit.
But you want to check something out? Neuralink.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Right? Okay, so when Neuralink completes everything it's going to do, and good job, all those fucking guys taking that first rendition in, good on you. I don't know if it was me and you or me and Wiz having a convo about somebody that one of you two knew that was that already had Neuralink plugged in, and they were like scrolling through their socials and shit in their brain and controlling things. That's what everything's going to turn to. It's all going to turn to Neuralink, and then they can shut you off.
Yep.
Right.
What do they, when they turn it off? You just fucking your whole body, your brain shuts down.
And the fact that you would trust the government inside your consciousness, inside your body, is crazy. I wouldn't trust them inside my wallet.
Wait, so what is the point of that? Is that an option for people? Is that something they're trying to push on everybody?
So the initial point of Neuralink was to create a technology that can help like repair damaged neurons in your brain. For example, like if you're deaf and you could never hear, it's able to like create false or not false, but like artificial, I guess, like synapses or links between because like with neuroplasticity, right, as age, those connectors start to wither away, which is why you'll start memory, et cetera, Well, some people are just not born with them or they're damaged. So you can't see, you can't smell, you can't hear certain things. Neuralink is the ability to actually link those neurons together in order to make them functional again. Right? Even like your arm, if you lose function in your arm, or it's supposed to help those things, but then it's being formed into technology as well. So you'll be able to pick up calls, you'll be able to control your TV, your social media.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty much the merging of man and machine. Like
That
the
is
final
crazy,
piece.
dog.
Yeah, the final piece.
That is fucking insane.
Sick.
So you gonna get that?
Fuck. No. I say that, bro, but I'm gonna be linked up, G. I'm gonna be in the Matrix, dog, drooling on
Placero,
my
hey,
couch.
turn me up over here, bro.
Oh,
Turn me up.
oh,
Turn me up over here, Chris. Come on. Turn me up over here.
We're the gladiators.
Hotline. Sounds there. But ain't nobody removing shit, homie. Come on, man.
That's right. Hey, we're the aviators, bro. I got used to that shit. That was too cool.
Oh, that was pretty
That was
dope,
so cool,
huh?
dog.
My wife took him away from me. Those were her glasses.
Oh, you're walking around the house. You're walking around the house, G.
I was walking around feeling sexy. I got it from this guy, homie. Right there. Look, there you go.
Oh, see, you got the cool shades right now.
Big Bruno in the house.
Yeah, that's right.
What's
That's
up,
right.
boys? How you guys doing, man?
Yeah, man. Having some fucking crazy conversations over
What
here.
are you guys talking about? Have you promoted Hadar?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, yeah,
That's the
that's-
first thing I
that's the
did.
first thing that
All right,
happened.
first
There
thing I
you
did.
go,
Actually, I've
homeboy.
been fucking up. My bad. Let me get the intermission going
Go
because you said
ahead.
every 15. It's been like an hour. You know, tap in with Hadar Extracts, bro. If you want to be a cool ass guy that got aviators over here and just pimping like it ain't nothing. If you want your life to be nothing major, fool, kind of like the big homie Gil right here, go get you some Hadar Extracts.
If you want your life to be nothing major, homeboy.
Come on, fool.
And there's no tax on that gas.
Yeah, nah. Unless you get it from me, fool. Sorry, dude. I was just playing. I was
Hey,
just playing.
did you guys talk about that one dude in the women's
Nah, we
prison?
were waiting
yet.
to see
We're
if you
waiting
could
for you.
find up in here.
Bro, that is the insanity of California liberals like Bruno, man.
Yeah.
That I've been trying to get Bruno. Hey, me and Bruno. Shout out to my boy Bruno.
Shout out,
Me-
Bruno.
Hey, fool, me and Bruno have such great conversations. We're having one outside, right?
How you gonna throw him under the bus? He ain't even on the camera, dog.
because I've been trying to get him to come on, and we did an interview already.
right.
We had members only, right? But I've been trying to get him to come on for us to have those. We have like real friendly debates. They're not even debates. We just go back and forth and shoot
Yeah.
the shit. For instance, he just came from El Salvador.
That's right.
That's right.
But he is saying, in his opinion, that the El Salvador
One Piece.
president, yeah, exactly, is like a dictator, right? And I'm telling him, fool, 10 years ago, you wouldn't have gone to El Salvador. He's like, I know. I said, well, then.
Damn. That's a good point.
Like, right? 10
That's a
years
good
ago.
point.
And I hopefully, one of these days, he'll make time for me so he can come out here and have these beautiful fucking debates.
He got the super prison over there right now, bro.
That's my boy. Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
that. I mean, fuck, I've known this guy fucking since the 80s, homie.
Oh, yeah?
Since the 80s, homie. So we're waiting for you, Bruno. The people want you, homie. But as far as that guy,
Yeah, y'all both got to wear glasses that day.
yeah, for sure. That guy, dude, this is the insanity of California politics, right? Of California liberal politics. You have a man, looks like a man. He looking like a man, all right? Remember
like
that
a
one?
man,
He looking
yeah.
like a man, right?
You want a man.
You got a man in a woman's prison, and just because he identifies as a woman, you throw him with the women in prison?
Fucking ridiculous.
And he just this week raped an inmate. Is that really surprising that a guy
No, not
is
at
gonna
all.
rape a fucking chick in a cell?
No,
Not at all.
Not at all. Oh, you mean a criminal dude that's doing fucking real time?
Yeah,
that's really locked up that didn't give a fuck about.
He's in there for a third strike,
Like, geez.
a violent
Yeah,
strike.
yeah.
He's in there, and he ended up raping an inmate, a female inmate, right? And I'm sorry, I can't remember her name right now. It's because it's like a native Ichi, and I'm gonna chop up her name. I had her and did an interview with her. She did about 5 years in prison, and when she got out, a lot of her friends started writing her and telling her, "Hey, man, they got guys in here with us," and she was like, "I don't believe it." And she's like, and she started doing her homework. So now she's an advocate to try to stop the insanity of having men, homie, in women's prison. And this is a perfect example of people just going too woke and too liberal and believing that, just because somebody identifies they can use the bathroom, I have a problem with that, but that's just one thing. Having a man live with a woman in a jail cell, my mom's been in the joint,
In a
homie.
locked box.
So to me, when I see stuff like that, I would be livid if my mother called me and said, I have a guy living with me
Once
in
you
my
get
cell.
out. Once you get out.
No, that would make me literally go to the Capitol, go somewhere and be like, no, this isn't happening. My mom's not selling up with a man, right? And another guy who's in there, let me show you this peach of a guy. He was on death row. He killed his kids. Babies. Him and his girl killed their kids. They were all met out, killed both of their toddler kids. He was on death row. While on death row, he got surgery and got his stink chopped off because and we paid for it, homie. Taxpayers paid for it.
So we assume he's not going to hurt women when he killed his kids. That's crazy, G.
He's in women's prison right now.
Yeah, he's probably fine. Not doing nothing wrong. You know what's funny, man? When we were talking, I think that was a really great point. Like, I don't think wokeism and all of these identity crises and identity rights and privileges are something that should be allotted to people in prison, G. That's crazy, dog. And that's not even, like, we've all been in trouble, right? So it's not coming from some, like, fucking suburban kids looking down on fools like, nah, bro, I got cases too, dog. I would never, and to the point, while we were sitting here, this thought came to my head. How is it okay to do that when the only place in America that you're still considered 2/3 of a fucking man is in prison, dog? Right. You don't even have your basic human rights.
Yeah.
You're 2/3 of a fucking man still, which is Willie Lynch era from back in the day. But if you're going to consider me 2/3 of a man, not a full man, you're not going to respect me the same way, but this motherfucker can have rights.
He's a woman fool.
Oh, just kidding. Man size. Damn, all right. I'm stupid. I don't know why I didn't connect that shit, G. My bad. Good looking.
Yeah, but it's just complete.
She's 2/3 of a woman now,
and utter insanity. And I don't know how you can justify it.
You can't.
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, call it what you want, identify as whatever you want. You have those same emotions, those same urges as a man that we men have. So why would you it's like putting a wild animal in a fucking cage with, a bunch of sensitive other animals.
And why do you
like,
have PC sections, but you don't have trans sections? Just have a trans section.
That's
you have
that's the PC section.
That is a PC.
Yeah, but the same shit goes on there, right? My cousin was a sheriff before he passed away, bro. And the stories that he would tell me, they're worse. They're more dirty. They're more violent when they're up in there, bro. Like it's crazy, but just entirely separated, dog. You want to have the bathroom? Just give them a bathroom. Give them a prison. If you want to identify, give them a sport. Give them a thing. But
to sit there and put them in women's prison, like that's something you would never fathom. I think right now there's over like, I think my number will be low, like 25, 30 men in women's prison right now. I mean, straight men, bro. That's straight and from
California?
California. Man. From the details I got from our former guest, it's like, dude, don't think they're looking like women. You saw the guy's picture.
Hey, dude.
They're walking around with beards. It's just a man walking around. It's like a fucking game. Like
it's
the cop, hey, aren't you a man? I identify as a woman.
Shit,
and I'm walking. And of course women are gonna feel threatened.
I'm doing that shit forever now, dog. I'm going to the bar and being like, nah, I'm a girl, G. The fuck you mean, fool?
Hey, buy me drinks.
What the fuck you talking about, dog?
With that tiger jacket, you better be careful. They're gonna go, how?
Hey, just buy me my water bottle.
Hey, why they hate on your tiger jacket, homie?
Who's hating on it?
Some fool right now. Somebody blocked him at the beginning of the show. At the very beginning of the show, somebody was hating on your tiger jacket.
Listen, just because you're broken, we're nothing but pro club pullovers.
Shots fired! Shots fired, Chris!
My fault, G. My fault. I'll go get you your black, white, and gray pullover, dog. Fuck up out of here.
Hey, fool, this is a CVS special right here, carnal. Don't think I'm always wearing the same
I got a Pro Club
Hollywood shirt.
I got the same one on.
I can't do Pro Club. Like, it's too
Pro
thick.
Club and Shaka. I like the thick ones.
I don't like that thing.
You know
I feel like I like he's going to women's prison. He's going to women's prison. He likes a thick, fool.
Hey, fool, it's ma'am, dog. I just gotta change, fool. Nah, I ain't no man. What you mean?
Hey, sir, yeah, it's ma'am, bitch.
It's ma'am. What you mean? Hey, these cuffs are too tight.
That fool in GameStop. You seen that?
Yeah, that's what. It's ma'am.
Yeah, that fool, right?
That fool, yeah.
Well, that's
my fault.
That's to me, that's the insanity. Like, there is a point where you go over the cliff, bro, and that is beyond over the cliff.
Yeah, like tripping on my jacket, my fault.
And I would hope that this lady who has been raped doesn't go in vain and they just kind of try him. I would hope that this opens up the eyes. They get sued like a mother, which they are, and they're gonna lose big time. There's no way you're gonna justify it to a jury. Hopefully they lose their ass off, and hopefully they won't do it. They won't do it like in the air. They'll do it very silently. They'll start moving those guys out of that prison, and they should.
They silently moved them in.
They silently moved them in. Yes, sir.
But this is if it's a privatized prison, isn't it the same thing as like Johnson & Johnson letting out a fucked up vaccine, racking in $10 billion and having to pay a fine of $1 million?
Yeah, but it's not a private prison. It's Chowchilla State Prison. It's
shit.
No, these are just regular women's prisons,
That's
bro.
just straight up government being like, we're good. Slide them on through, G. Who cares?
They identify as women. They're the same as kids identifying as women or kids.
You know what my question would be to like y'all, right? Because like when we have a lot of topics that we talk about where we're like wrong with the nation, right? Wrong with what's going on right now. And for most of these things, I can play devil's advocate to figure out what is the negative benefit to the people enforcing these things. I can't really figure out like what is the negative people, what are the bad people gaining from doing this?
I don't think it's okay. A lot of these politicians who have these very super woke thing, I think they're just blind and they get the attention from the super woke crowd and they get the votes and it becomes it becomes a competition like this. When we were homies back in my day, right? In the 80s, we would wear size. We're small kids. We're wearing size 36, right? And then we go to 38, and then we go to 40, and then we go to 50, and then it just becomes ridiculous, right?
2x tall.
Well, that's what happens in politics. You get some of these left wing people. Oh, I push the envelope. Oh, I push the envelope, and at the end, they push the envelope so far that men that identify as women should go to women's prison.
But what movement's asking for that?
How the fuck did we get to?
Yeah, that's what happens.
How the fuck?
Well,
did we
it's
get here,
just like another way. When people sag, they started little by little, but now you got shit guys
Piece
all
by
the way.
piece.
Yeah, piece by piece, because I'm pushing the envelope, and they believe they're pushing the envelope for the righteousness. For it doesn't matter even if you're, and I gotta use that woke voice. Even if you're in prison, you still have the right to identify as a woman.
That's crazy,
okay. Yes, you do have the right to identify as a woman, but in San Quentin, player.
Yeah, they've been
in
doing
Folsom,
that.
Player,
They've been doing it.
They've been doing it.
Yeah, let's stop playing.
You're gonna get some action.
You'll be all right.
If you really identify as a woman, you should be happy as hell. You're a woman doing time with some fierro.
Nothing but dick around.
Yeah, you should be happy
Bro,
as shit.
this is Disneyland, like Disneyland, G.
Disneyland.
No, but the funny part, this is the way I would at least say.
Coxberry Farm. You at Coxberry Farm. Calm down.
I would say minimum.
I'm wrong. My fault.
Hey, minimum requirement for any male that says he identifies as a woman is to chop it off.
Damn.
Minimum requirement.
Yeah.
That at least tells me you're committed.
But do they gotta
that's
get
true.
a coochie or they gotta just sew that bitch shut?
Well, when they sew it shut, they gotta have a.
Nah, you not. You not. You a eunuch.
Well,
that eunuch
just
up
at
outta
least
here, fool.
just chop it off, bro.
Chop
That
it
way,
off.
I know you're not gonna rape somebody like that.
Ah, you can rape with the law.
Well, yeah, you're gonna do a lesbian rape, bro.
Scissor.
Yeah, you're gonna do a lesbian
That's
rape.
why I need the glasses. I need you to put the glasses on for that moment.
but there will be no penetration.
No, there can be. 100% there can. Dog, yeah.
This guy's getting crazy. Well, a female can rape like that.
Yeah,
but
and
at
female
least
rape is crazy in
Hey,
these prisons.
no, but you gotta be on some next level to be like, all right, I need to go over there. I need to chop it off. The guy that was on death row did it, but he had no choice. He was on death row.
Yeah.
He had no choice.
Bro, let
give
that
a fuck.
motherfucker
See the
go.
doctor
G.
chop it off.
But think how great his life is now, bro. That fool's living with women.
He's in paradise, fool.
He's in paradise.
He's chilling.
He went from death row.
He knows when he's gonna die, and he ain't around nothing but women.
Yeah, no, but he's not on death row anymore.
That's
He's
crazy,
with women.
Oh, he's not on death row?
Death row's gone in California, bro. I don't know if you guys don't keep up with the fucking pinta talk. Homie. Death row's gone, bro.
It's been a long time since I've had to worry about it.
And it's crazy because I still see every once in a while on the news, he's eligible for death row. I'm like, well, for the death penalty. I'm like, have you guys not got the fucking memo
the fuck
yet?
you talking about?
The death penalty in California is gone, homie. Not that I don't really agree with it. That I agree more with the Russian shit where you're gonna be on lockdown for 10 years. Like you do some heinous crime where you killed some kids. Yeah, Russia has that one prison that
Lockdown
a couple
for
of
10 years?
No, Russia has a few prisons where it's locked down for life, bro.
Yeah. I fuck with that.
Locked up for life,
I fuck with
no
that.
visits, bro.
Lose your mind.
Damn. So you're
Yeah.
like in the hole, basically.
Yeah,
the rest
you're
of
you're in
your
the hole.
For life.
To be honest, it should be like
Damn,
10 years
dog,
because
that's
if you
not
lose
true.
your mind and you lose grasp of reality, well, you're not suffering anymore. I think you should get right before that moment and then just go old school firing line, G.
Yeah, that's
Get 'em outta
Russia.
here.
In California, we send a man to women's prison. That's the punishment.
Yeah, shout out Cali. You're obviously doing the right thing, G. Good looking.
Yeah.
Good looking. Putin over here fucking up, G.
Hey, did you guys talk about Biden? Son?
Yeah.
Nah, we haven't talked
we
about
haven't
Biden's
talked-
son.
Oh man,
Not too
man.
deep.
We talked a little bit about the elections in Mexico, and we talked about Trompito getting those 35, 36 convictions.
34, nothing major.
34, nothing major.
Nothing major, homeboy.
Nothing major.
and then
Degenerate
kinda-
gambling.
President.
Yeah, and just kind of went from there. But
Yeah.
We went,
Mexico
we went
president.
from the first female president of Mexico to the first felon president in the U.S.
Nothing
Yeah.
major. Oh.
All the way to the first case that we've spoken on today.
Did you see that? Did you see that Riverside sheriff say he's He's supporting a felon for president.
Straight up. Fool.
He came out like 2 days ago. He came out 2 days ago. You know what? This is the very first time I'm supporting a felon.
Hell yeah.
I'm supporting a felon for president.
Me too. No, it's not. It's really not. All your presidents have been war criminals, but it's all right. This is the first open
War criminals
on paper.
War criminals
They
signed off a
deserved
thing to
it.
hush some hush money. Hush money's much worse,
Bro, who cares? It's just 40 million babies from another nation. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tax evasion, all this shit Trump's doing, though, it's kind of bad.
But walk us through Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hunter Biden last year he went to get a plea deal in the federal court. The judge looked at that plea deal and said, "No, wait a minute here. Like, this is not a. This is you guys. This is the deal you're giving this guy." And they're like, "Yeah. We all parties have agreed to it." So what it was all the cronies that are obviously part of the Biden administration, DOJ, Department of Justice, that they agreed we're going to give this sweetheart deal. And the judge was like, "Not in my courtroom.
That's right.
This is not going down." And that's great judge. The judge like, "No, you're not giving this guy this deal. This is insane. He's got gun charges." He's like, "What happened to the gun charge?" "Oh, we're dismissing it." So what do you mean?
Why?
Yeah, you're not going
How
to
do you
dismiss
do that?
anybody else's.
I don't get that.
Yeah, we don't get that.
Yeah. You mean justice for all? That's weird.
But they let a lot of like fraud charges, money laundering charges expire.
Of course.
Where the statute of limitations is gone.
Damn.
Right? Damn. So she threw it out. Now one of his biggest charges is lying on a federal form about being a drug addict while buying a gun.
That's crazy. So you threw the gun charges? Oh, all right.
But now they got him on the gun charge now.
Good. Thank God.
So his own words are being used against him because he wrote a memoir and he talked about the crack use in the era, right? Now they're bringing up the infamous laptop.
Yeah.
You heard about the laptop 4 years ago. You heard it, and you got Biden even speaking about it during the debate with him and Trompito 4 years ago, and he said, "It's all a lie. It's all Russian collusion, the laptop." And the crazy part is that all the time Biden is saying this, he knows the laptop is real because the feds got the laptop.
It's his son.
And he's the jefe. So you know damn well the feds like, "Hey, this shit's real." Okay, well, they said, "This is the play we're going to run." We're just going to keep saying it's fake. It's fake. It's fake. It's fake. They had the laptop all along. The laptop has him smoking crack with the whores.
Isn't that ironic? Fake news.
Yeah, all
did
this
he have
shit.
like child pornography on that?
No, he didn't have that. He
had a bunch of
He was
pictures.
pimping, bro.
Yeah.
No, Hunter Biden is with the business. That's what
Sick ass.
gangster. He's right there with the crack pipe.
Yeah.
He got one chick over here. He's got
Before he was rolling it, G. He was rolling
bro.
it.
He's in the bathtub smoking rock,
Bro,
This is all real.
pictures.
Hey, no video.
Yeah,
Video.
He's got prostitutes in the background.
He's got the video.
Yeah.
He's got some good white rock.
Hell
He doesn't
yeah,
have that
homie.
yellow rock.
You hear it hit
He's
the
got that
glass.
white crack, bro.
Yeah,
he has it on the scale. He's on the scale. He's like
got Jesse in the bag.
2.0 grams, like on some crazy shit, bro. So at the end, they charge him for this.
I heard they had the homie compa in one of those pictures.
Oh, man. Yeah, Compa Raiders back there somewhere, bro. Compa Raiders back there on a bender, fool. Imagine Compa and Hunter. Oh, that'll be the greatest podcast in the nation,
party
bro.
right there,
That'll be the
G.
greatest podcast
That's
in the
a
nation,
party,
bro.
dog. Just one light bulb rolling back and forth on the
So
table.
this will tell you how much of lies there are because they lied like a mother on that laptop. Everybody knew it was
Of
real,
course.
and it came out to be real. Now, this will tell you what kind of dirtbag Hunter Biden is. His ex-wife went today and testified against him
Sick, dog.
because he was trying to say, "Oh no, I was clean." His ex-wife said, "Listen, there was only a 10-minute fucking thing for the prosecution. Was your husband doing drugs?" "Yes." "How do you know?" He's like, "I found crack pipes on my deck of our patio deck."
On your what?
On our patio deck. And she's like, "Did anywhere else?" I said, "Yes, I would have to search the cars because our kids would drive the cars, and I would find drugs in there too."
So you had pookies everywhere.
He's a crackhead, bro.
Sick ass.
He was a straight crackhead, but
A rich crackhead.
He's a
That's
rich
the
crackhead,
difference,
bro.
yeah.
He's a rich crackhead. So
Not a dirty
They
pookie
finally
inside.
got divorced, and the reason they got divorced is because Hunter Biden started smoking crack and piping down his brother's fiance, widow.
Damn.
After his brother passed away from brain cancer.
Wow.
Oh yeah, this is all facts, bro. These are all facts, bro. You can look them up.
Crack's a hell of a drug, G.
This fool, the good son. He was the good son. He was in the service. The one who
that
died
died.
of brain. Yeah, he was supposed to be the next heir to the throne. He died of brain cancer. Unfortunately, this fucking dirtbag probably, his sister-in-law was there, and he's probably like, oh, this will make you feel better.
Hey, hit this. Yeah.
Got her, not just got her on crack, but started hitting it.
Damn.
He started having sex with his brother's fucking widow, bro, within a year. 6 months to a year.
Crazy.
That's how he ended up getting divorced.
Crazy.
And she's
Biden must have been
I think
mad.
she's taking a stand tomorrow or next week. Damn. Now they're gonna cross-examine her and ask, dude, that's just dirty laundry after dirty laundry. Yeah. And then throughout all this shit, Hunter Biden has a baby with a stripper.
Sick ass fool. That's right.
Throughout all of it?
Yeah, he has a baby with a stripper, which Biden just in the last
local legend,
just in the last 8 months has finally said that was their grandkid. Yeah. Because they would always say, "Oh, the number might be off." He would, Joe Biden would say, "Oh, I only got 5 grandkids," and everybody would say, "No, you got 6."
Yeah, that badass little kid over there, that baby with the snotty nose.
That's yours too. And he wouldn't deny. That's what people were saying. Wait a minute, you keep talking about family and this and that. That's your grandson. That's a grand. I think it's a girl. That's your grandchild. Mm-hmm. And they did the blood test, and yeah, it's Hunter's kid. That was one of the crack whores that he was smoking dope with in the hotel.
Damn, why should I be a whore?
No, it sounds better for the video.
That man's the whore. You leave that woman
Biden
alone.
family needs that Rosa de Guadalupe to appear.
For real, dog.
They all need a little.
I say
air
this.
blowing in their
I say
face,
this is how it's gonna play out. Hunter Biden will be found guilty. They'll probably give him
2 days.
6 months to a year.
House arrest, 5 years.
When Biden leaves office to Trumpito, he's gonna pardon him.
Oh,
he's gonna pardon him.
Oh,
he's gonna pardon him. Yeah. It's a federal case.
Yeah. Can he?
Yeah. It's a federal case. Absolutely.
Yeah, he can.
It's family.
Yeah.
You can pardon whoever you want.
Yeah.
Trump is about to pardon himself.
Mm-hmm. He can't though. You can't pardon yourself.
Why not?
Why the fuck?
There's nothing.
I don't think there's no regulation on pardoning.
For real? There is nothing
you just have to be present
in the Constitution about pardoning yourself. Yeah. The founding fathers, like I said, as great as they were, they didn't think about that. No, they never thought also that a president was going to be a felon, so they never put that in there either.
Oh, you mean the guys that saved the nation from tyranny didn't think that there's a possibility for this nation to be tyrannical at any point?
Tyrannical is one thing. Smoking crack and fucking getting a gun that's your son.
Well, that's part. The tyranny is utilizing power for your own self-need, right? Ironically enough, that tends to go negatively for the people.
Yeah, but the part of yourself.
That's crazy.
If Trump would have stayed in office and he could do it, it would be challenged under the Supreme Court. And to me personally, I would think and hope that the Supreme Court would, but who knows? Right now, everything's so political. I don't believe that a president should be able to pardon themselves.
No, not at all. No, or their family, to your point.
But their family, they could.
I don't think that should be able to.
All day long. That they could.
No, but see, then what happens if you're let's say you have a Chinese spy government come in and create a whole plant from like 80 years back, because they work long game like a motherfucker, right? And then next thing you know, he's over here pardoning his distant cousin who was smuggling this person and doing that. I don't think you should be able to pardon yourself or your immediate family. Maybe distant, because you can't control distant relatives.
But it's not in the Constitution.
No, You're right. No, just for argument's sake, I think it should be that way, right?
The only way they would do that is if the Congress and the Senate got together and passed a law, and they would never do that.
Well, if Trump does it, they might fuck around.
You would have to make an amendment to the Constitution.
Yeah, you would have. And 100%. I think what was the last one? It was women's right to vote was an amendment.
Literally like the 70s or 80s. Like
no, women's right to vote was like the 20s.
No, you're right.
Women, but there was another amendment. I can't remember. Yeah, but why not to get an amendment to get all these guys together?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You know what would piss me off though, bro, is if this fucking email bullshit with Hunter Biden's crackhead ass is like the only email.
Unsober. We say unsober over here.
Unsober.
I didn't say addict, or I said
crack whore.
Yeah, you said crack whore earlier, all right? This unsober slut.
With all due respect, crack whore.
Yeah, with all due respect, homie, span size fool. But this unsober man, if I get to see his emails and this is all thrown out there, it would piss me off that Hillary's, Whatten's, and Epstein's was just slid by. Like, these are way more important than this one. I know what he did, dog. He smoked crack. He banged a bunch of whores. Let's just keep it pushing. You know what I mean? We have evidence. We have primary evidence, right? Court. You have primary evidence. He's on camera. Can we just dead it and move on? And I want to know what's up with Hillary's.
Well, they could have, but they gave him too much of a sweet deal, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
And Hillary's saying too much power. Too much power.
But that's my point. How are we all as a people sitting here? Why do we give a fuck, right? Like, if we're talking about emails, can we talk about the emails that we just forgot about?
Of course, and that's what Bruno and I were speaking about, because Bruno was like, he's okay with Trump being, prosecuted and all that, and I'm like, it's a witch hunt, and then I bring up the Hillary thing, and his response to me was, yeah, well, they should go after Hillary too. 100%. And me, I agree. Listen. If they went after Hillary the same way they went after Trump, and they're both sitting in jail,
I'm cool with it.
I'm good with it.
I'm cool with it, because that's the American way right there. It's justice.
Listen, if my boy Trompito goes to the pinta, homie, I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
Damn, fool, we putting money on his books? Yeah.
Hey, that fool already got like.
I'll throw him a 140 over there. I'll send him some money,
Bro,
homie.
I'm sending no matter what.
His website crashed.
Fuck.
His
how
website.
much money he raised?
His website crashed.
He got convicted.
His website crashed. He raised $52 million in 24 hours after he got convicted.
Damn.
And I want to say 30% of that was from people donating 15, 20, 30 bucks. What does that tell you?
No way.
Yeah, dude. 30% of that wasn't from big donors. It was from that's
your people.
That's
American people.
That's just the American people.
Outspoken, G.
Dude, you come on. He went to Brooklyn, bro.
Fool, can we set up a GoFundMe for fucking Biden to be able to walk right, or some memory pills or some shit like that, and see how much that motherfucker makes? That fool will make like 2 Advils worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get the fool out of here, dog.
I'm still waiting for the debate, bro. I don't know if they're gonna do a debate with Trump in jail.
Dude, he's gonna be twacked out his mind just to be able to stay focused.
Hey, they're gonna sentence him 4 days before the Republican National Convention, and that's planned. That's all planned, bro.
But
it's all just to destroy him, bro.
To your point,
Biden can't hold
distractions to destroy him, right? I've always had this question, right? And I pose it to you guys here. I've always had this question when it comes to like trompas, for example. If the liberal media or conservative media, whatever media source, right? If you really dislike this man, you really hate this man, and think this man is like the end of all like society, as a whole,
Crazy.
Why do you keep giving him camera time?
Thank you.
Why do you keep pushing that narrative? Why is CNN, all these quote unquote left media, like number one stories that I see on those platforms are always Trump. I'm like, if you didn't want that, if you didn't want to give like false narratives like a platform, then why are you giving him a platform?
Because it's the only way they get views nowadays. They're not going to get no views.
Yeah.
I mean, what's CNN going to get views on?
Yeah, it sells. Cesar Lopez said it's crazy how these have far less views than drama views. He's talking about the podcast we're doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. They'd rather sell the drama. They actually like Trump in there because every day will be shit on Trump.
Yeah.
Every day will be shit on Trump.
Bro, it's job security.
Yeah, AT
He just said some out of
member
lines.
$2 super chat. Biden makes Trompito look like a saint.
Bro, yeah, it'd be wild.
Yeah.
It'd be wild.
100%.
I think he's got better.
I think we've all forgotten, right? Like the justice system, how it's kind of based, right? And you have all these super criminals, quote unquote, and all these like how
You a super criminal is crazy.
How the prison system is based is really. It's Biden's doing, right? Like he was the one that really advocated for like the prison system to be the way that it is now in the situations that we're in, right? And everybody continues to sit there and forgive him.
Yep.
They forget and they forgive.
Him and Hillary, bro. You're super predators.
Super predators.
That's what they call them.
Super
homie.
predators, G. Like, don't forget that. That's what pisses me off as Americans. How short-term memory we are. Like, do we forget 4 years to 4 years?
Real quick.
Bro, it's like back in the day it was every 4 years. Nowadays with like social media, like you don't remember what happened last week, dog. You don't remember what you think.
Placero, I don't even know what outlaw news is, homie, to let you know the truth, carnal. I don't know if that's a platform or what it is, but I don't have an opinion on it because I don't know what it is, homie.
Yeah, same.
But it's crazy that they're going after something so small like this. To me, it's okay. Well, where's all the other people that were in the Epstein Island videos?
Thank you.
Yep.
Right?
Another one. Where is the prosecution of the bankers during the crash of 2008?
Thank you.
Not one single, and we're talking about trillions of dollars, bro. Not one single person got prosecuted.
I mean, what about the fact that you can't even fucking sue Big Pharma for anything that goes wrong? How about we focus there, right? How about we focus on the fact that you have all these people in the medical field that took the Hippocratic Oath and break it every single day of their life?
How about individuals like Dr. Fauci?
My guy.
Who now
AIDS?
like you besides AIDS, but you continue to have all these factual information come out of like, COVID and the COVID vaccines and things that are doing it to people, right?
Yeah.
And he was on the news. He was everywhere for a very long time. And you've seen him just
wrong about
disappear.
it all.
And wrong about it all.
That part.
And he's not having to defend his position at all whatsoever.
Now, and mind you, keep in mind, hasn't he been the head of the NHL since literally AIDS?
Yeah.
The AIDS epidemic, right?
100%.
It's like, bro, what did you do right? You were running every single health epidemic that ever occurred. You were the top of it and watching people get fucked.
You guys didn't take phone calls today?
No.
Hey, let's get the phone out here, Chris. Let's run this shit.
Oh, my God, Roger, please.
Let's get that. Let me get the phone real quick.
Roger's about to
I can
call,
hang up
bro.
with him.
It's-
Yeah, don't do it, fool. Don't do it,
Do
Roger.
it, Roger.
I wish I could post those memes in here.
There's a lot of info of me. I don't know. I don't care. There's info of me everywhere, bro. I ain't worried about it, homeboy. I'm still here in Hollywood, homeboy.
It's active here.
Oh, it's active in the motherfucker.
Hey, E-Funk made a good point right there, too.
What's that?
There's a lot about you on there. I mean, there's nothing about you, though, so I don't even know why we're talking like that.
All right, let's see. All right, so hotlines open 279-8109. Oh boy, short-term memory. Gavin Newsom, homeless money. Oh, Gavin Newsom is another one. Did you guys know that Gavin Newsom slept with his best friend's wife, which was his campaign manager?
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Sick ass fool, dog. I mean, she was there all the
Because he
time.
has good hair.
Yeah.
He does. He does have good hair.
They work
bro.
closely
He
together.
does have good hair, bro.
Yeah.
That fool's lame, dog.
They be doing some
Where'd they get
dirtbag,
that fool?
some dirtbag news.
Hey, he spent more time with her than her husband did, G.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's all bad.
That's real bad.
That's all bad. All right, Roger, the hotline is open. Let me see.
Man.
He's on speed dial. G.
Biden kind of going back to the Trump way of immigration. He just passed an
that was ironic.
He just right.
That was very ironic.
He just passed an executive order, and all of a sudden the border.
Want to seal it up.
Like, come on,
Go
bro.
fuck yourself.
Yeah, you should have known that from before, homie.
Yeah, and isn't it ironic that everything's fake news now about his son? Like, bro, just take it out the Trump book. Don't trip, G. At least you remembered that.
For sure, brother. But it just shows you that they'll go back and forth. They'll blame Trump. They'll blame this. But after you've been in office for 3 years, I mean, at this point, it's like, no, it's your company.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
politics 101, though, bro.
blame it on somebody else.
Beginning and end, those are the combos.
Let's see. E-Funk. Unfortunately, most Raza does not like to hear facts, and when they do hear the facts, they choose to ignore them. Yeah, they choose to ignore them. And the argument is like the conversation we're having here. They'll say, "Oh, you guys are coconuts. Oh, you guys are sellouts. Oh, you guys are this." You
Bro,
know?
they just have you have low IQ, and it's really hard for you to have a conversation beyond
I
twerk.
think what happens with our people sometimes too is like we feel like it's too big of a problem and we can't deal with it.
Then why
like
be
we,
negative?
Like it's like,
You know what I
it's
mean?
not our problem.
Sure.
You
No,
know,
it
It's
is.
like, fuck it, whatever.
I think one of the issues is that we associate immigration just with Latin immigration and Mexican immigration, right?
oh,
And
yeah.
don't think about the immigration that comes from all over the world.
Thank you. And people that slide through our borders,
Oh, absolutely. That
Or-
come through Mexico, that
Yeah.
come through Canada,
fly
right?
through Canada. Thank you.
And I had a conversation with one of my family members who works for intelligence, right? And we're kind of going back and forth because he spent, the last 4 years overseas. He was stationed in Israel, right? So spent 4 years of his life out there and coming back. And we had a difference of opinion a lot in politics, right? But he left for 4 years and
Frankie, you fed.
he came back. Come
Who
on,
said
G.
in
Hey, dog.
intelligence?
Hey, dog.
Respect the
So-
policy, homie.
respect
My
the
bad.
policy,
I'm
homie.
playing.
But-
Roger about
but-
to come at me.
Having these conversations when we're talking about like foreign entities, right, that
That's
aren't
fucked up,
favorable to the way that we do business and the way that we live our lives here in the United States. And I already feel that, this is my opinion, but I already feel that we're in World War III.
Yes.
And I feel that the war is an economic war. It's a misinformation
It's a Cold War.
It's
Yeah.
it's
a Cold War,
it's a Cold War,
Yeah.
right? And we're already engaged in it. We've been engaged in it for years.
China been fucking us up in it for a while.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And the rhetoric that you continue to hear and see when it comes to immigration, right? Like we get emotional, right? We
Yep.
get reactive
Yep.
because we grew up with the rhetoric being about us.
Yes.
Right? And for once, it's not about us.
At all.
Right? At all whatsoever. It's having a porous, border and allowing these foreign agents to come into this country, right? So I'm a big believer on not only obviously sealing those things up, but I am also a big believer, and I keep saying it when it comes to real estate. If you're not an American citizen or a resident of the United States, you should not be able to purchase property here in the United States.
I'm down with that.
Minimum dual citizenship, right?
100%.
Like, what the fuck are we doing,
1,000%.
dog?
Yeah, no, we're for sale, bro.
Yeah,
we're
but
for sale. in
I
this
can
country.
take Chinese influence and money, but I can't go buy property there.
Yeah.
I have to relinquish my citizenship and be part of the communist nation. But you can come here and buy. You can influence here. There's something wrong about that.
It's insane how far like we've come in America in a negative way as far as the middle class and the taxes that we got. I saw this one clip today and it was perfect. You know, the guy was like, we had a revolution for a 2% tax on a drink with the Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party, right?
That's the point that I made so many times. Taxes shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, bro. He's like,
the fuck are we doing?
Now we get taxed for roads we drive on that we already paid. We get taxed for the cars that we're driving. We get taxed for the house that we live in. We get taxed for for our debt tax. We get taxed for the food we're getting.
Well,
It's just if you really look at it, it'll stress you out, bro. Because it's like one tax. Everything you can see in this room, this is tax. This is tax. This is tax. This is tax. This
well,
is
bro, like
everything, bro.
Like I said, like 2-3 podcasts ago, just think about it. Every time a dollar bill leaves your hand, it is taxed.
Yes.
Every time. And then every time it leaves that person's hand, it's taxed. Now, keep in mind, it was already taxed. It went through the bank. It went to your employer. It went to you. It went to somebody else. It went to the food, to the gas. It's just a cycle of taxing. And then you wonder why you have a debt ceiling, because there's no intrinsic value behind your economy, because you have money, you don't have currency. And if you don't understand the difference between a monetary fucking unit versus a currency unit, then that's the problem. We have different words for reasons, bro. They don't mean the same shit. We don't have a currency anymore. And on top of it, we have a currency with no intrinsic value, yet is attached to debt.
Everything, bro. And I don't see it get any better, because the people in power, they're slaves to the real people in power.
Yeah,
and
your black government.
And most of the youth right now, and like the gentleman was saying here, as far as getting views on topics like this, to what we're talking about, to a lot of people is boring, bro.
No, somebody literally said that.
Yeah.
Well, why are you here?
Yeah, no, to a lot of people it's boring, but it's the reality of what's going on in our communities, in our nation, bro.
And
We're
the
just
shitty
doing
part
our
is
part.
100%, which is talking and informing, because that's what you're supposed to do. The shitty part is you're probably affected by plenty of things that you don't like. When you say boring, there's probably shit that you bitch and moan about every day at work.
Yeah,
that is part of this.
Absolutely,
Right?
but we do this to actually try to get people who are like-minded, whether they agree or disagree, but want to get informed, want to have the conversation, and hopefully, it grows larger and larger, because there is an actual audience for what we're talking about. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Latino community, they rather fucking see some shit on No Jumper where somebody's beefing with somebody, or in the YouTube yada. Hotline, who's this?
They want to talk about
Hello.
BBL Drizzy.
What's going on? Talk to us. Turn it up a little bit, Chris.
Hey, Gil, I just wanted to know if you seen that Tucker Carlson. He had an interview with the president of El Salvador earlier today.
You know what? I did. I watched probably like around 10 or 15 minutes of it. I watched the part where he was talking about, God and all that good stuff. And the president of El Salvador.
Just go back and watch it. All you guys, just go back. It's only about an hour, but man, he's talking about the U.S. and how we're just. I mean, we already know where we're headed, but he just kind of confirmed it.
Who, the Salvadorian president did, or Tucker?
No, the Salvador. No, he's sharp, bro. He is sharp.
That's how I felt, man. And I felt like him making that super prison was a good sign in my mind.
No, it was. It was something that needed to happen in his country, bro. And that's why Bruno went over there and visited, because it is the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, bro. What does that tell you?
What?
It is. Oh, it is. El Salvador?
What the fuck?
Yeah, El Salvador. El Salvador is the safest country in the Western Hemisphere, Holmes.
Holy
When in the hell did you think those two would be in the same conversation?
Never. Never.
What's that, my man?
He said that 60% of Salvadorian Americans are thinking about moving back to El Salvador, and about 20% of that already going back to El Salvador.
And that is great.
No
and that's
way.
when I say if the countries down south from us would actually have a place for them to work, make a living. Most people that come to this country don't want to leave their home state, bro.
No.
They don't. The thing is, there's no work. But in El Salvador right now, that Bruno came, he said, dude, there's fucking work everywhere.
I bet infrastructure's being redone entirely.
In other words, he stopped embezzling the money like all the other presidents. He stopped doing all that, and he's actually investing money in his country. He literally cleaned the swamp, bro. And that's what I feel Trumpito's trying to do, but they don't want him to do that, bro. Because
and how much work does that open up now?
Yeah, dude, and that's a beautiful thing. Hopefully that that goes to the other countries next to them. You know, Honduras being one of them. Then you got Guatemala. Then you got Nicaragua. Hopefully, those countries start getting infected with what he's doing. And they imagine if you got Central American being one of the safest areas in the Western Hemisphere.
Would we let that happen? As Americans,
they can't stop it. Look at El Salvador. El Salvador proved it. El Salvador stood up to America and said,
you don't
F
think
you.
they can just smuggle drugs and private parties in there to
well, everybody, there'll always be drugs and all that.
Not.
But at the end of the day, he's doing something that people just talk about.
No, that's beautiful.
You got anything else, caller? You hang up already?
And that's crazy, bro, because, I mean, it makes sense why it would open up more jobs. Like, people are going to want to open businesses. Put it into perspective. Like, who the fuck would want to open a business right now in San Francisco?
Nobody. And also, like, keep in mind, that opens
you see
good
all
jobs.
the shit that people are doing for they're looting these fucking businesses. They're fucking all types of shit going on.
You can get a government job?
Nobody's going to want to go to San Francisco and open a business.
No, dude.
All the liability that comes with it. So now you see something like El Salvador where it's super safe. Like people want to go shop around. People don't mind having their business open because they feel comfortable.
And I think one of the biggest knocks on the Salvadorian president has been how he's done it, right? Like he's met violence with violence, but violence only respects violence.
Bro, and the extreme violence.
Yeah,
of the
the extreme violence, right? Like it's that you know, what's gonna beat up a dog is a bigger dog, right? And that's the only thing that it respects. It doesn't respect logic. It doesn't respect, you know, having conversation and trying to meet in the middle, right? It is definitely, you know, when it comes to violence and obviously him being able to eradicate, you know, at least from the perception that we have here, being able to eradicate some of the gangs and get that under control, because we all knew, like, I would have never thought in my lifetime that I would have heard that, El Salvador was the safest country on the Western Hemisphere. Never in my life.
Never in my life. Nobody could have thought that, bro. That's insane. The one thing I will say, and I've said it since the jump, because when I have zero reason to ever pay a mind to Salvadorian fucking politics because of that same reason. Like, come on, fool, right? And
it's a banana republic. That's how you feel before.
Right, exactly, right. And mind you, my mom's full Salvadorian, right?
Okay.
So like,
that's why I liked you.
Yeah, hey, you know, a little special, but you know what I do like about that fool? When I first saw him, I was like, man, this fool's hard, because he pulls up in just jeans, dog. He don't pull up in no suits.
The tightest fucking jeans.
The tightest jeans. And the smallest little button up you could
working
find.
out, fool.
That's it, dog.
He's programming.
Yeah,
G,
a couple
he
got little pupusas in the gut. You know, you can see the pupusas right there. But that motherfucker pulls up in Levi's, dog, just strapped and ready to go. Like, all right, that's what's up though. Yeah, I never. In my mind, you know, Salvador's a beautiful place. If you just
all
look
those
at
countries are, bro. They got the beaches, two beaches.
But all the gang shit is what fucked it up. In my mind, I was like, I never am gonna visit Salvador, and that sucks.
I'm curious because he's tatted up. What was that? What that was like?
Well, and I'll say it. Bruno said
Under
that
Armour.
he went over there. He didn't see one single gang hit up.
That's what's up.
Damn.
Not one, right, Bruno? Not one. And then he said he was speaking to some of the different law people out there, and that they pretty much told him, listen, man, now that we see people like you, we already know we locked everybody up.
You're good.
Yeah, you're pretty much. So I said, damn, if you go over there, you just incognito, just walk around with your tattoos.
I'm gonna go over here
and
like,
see. So they probably see. No, I'm sure they look. You know, he's Americano. You know, that's what it is. Especially when you start talking, there's Americano. Yeah. I'm sure if they saw like an MS on them, then yeah, fool, they're gonna gaff
that motherfucker right there, apparently.
Yeah, they'll just ask you for your passport real quick. It shouldn't be. But yeah, dude, it's a thing where the gang members are hiding.
I have a question for you then.
Yeah.
Do you think that could be done in Mexico?
No, never.
See, I agree with you, and I have my reason in my mind, but like more so curious about why you say no.
Because Mexico is a much larger country, one, and when you're talking about the gangs in El Salvador, they do not compare one single bit to the narcos in Mexico. No. That's a whole different bracket.
That's an army versus gangs.
Yeah, that's like a low level street gang shit where they'll have a couple guns, maybe a grenade here, like some kind of small. These fools over here got millions of dollars.
Oh, they own economies.
Billions.
They got
They're tied up in corporations in America.
Yeah.
But see, you would have said at one point, just like we all said, never in Salvador. Do you think that there's ever a possibility anything could ever be done there?
only way there would be a possibility if a Mexican president would allow the United States to go in there and bang on them. Because the Mexican cartels,
We wouldn't do that though.
no, they wouldn't. They have such a stronghold in not everywhere, but the presidents of Mexico fear the cartels. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
No, I feel you on that. And also, just like, I think me and you referenced this before too. You have that union of like Canada, Mexico, and America, right? I don't know how important that is anymore, but yeah. NAFTA.
But I also think that if you took out the cartels in Mexico, it would destroy their economy.
It would destroy everything. It would destroy an entire way of living, dog. Like, yeah.
But you know what's crazy? That both of, like, you know, the cartel and the gang issue are both American made, right? Because, you know, we have like the highest rates of addiction here, right? You know, we're smoggling guns into Mexico, but like that gang issue, that was exported. That was exported from the States.
Yeah, that was us.
Yeah, it wasn't something that was created.
Yeah, the gang started with us.
I think the biggest thing we export in America is guns and bombs and tanks and. You know, war. But with the cartel thing, no, I remember I saw a documentary on I think Netflix, right? It was this. There's been a few. There was one that I think it was in Michoacan. That it was a town getting together. They started getting guns. They started pushing back the cartel, and they were actually winning. The government came in there.
Talk about the Morbids?
No. The government came in there, took all the guns from the town. It came in, the army came in because in Mexico you don't have a second amendment right, bro. And that trips me out. And I think that's one of the reasons you get that. Yeah. So they went in there and told all of them, and the guy's like, "What do you mean?" And they went in there, they slaughtered them, bro.
No way. Yeah, of course. All right. Don't trip, dog. We got this.
And the biggest sign is the former president, which is the new president, is identical twin of the former president. Abrazos, no balazos.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. That's so cute.
Come on.
That's so cute. Hugs, not bombs, right?
Remember, I told you that she's following the same same rhetoric that
Did you hear it? Did you hear that one? It was exact from word to word. So, in other words, that is a sign telling all the cartels, hey, we're not gonna mess with you guys. Don't mess with us. Let us do. You guys do your thing. We'll do our thing.
That was the point that I was making earlier, right? When we're talking about all those politicians that have been killed, to me, that's just a message. Like, hey, dog, these were just. I expended these people just to let you know I will expand you if you fuck around.
But America has a big role to play in that as well.
Of course.
And a perfect example is that 4-star general that is the general that is second, that only takes orders from the president.
Yeah, it's like
they picked him up. The DA picked him up.
No way.
No, this was 4 or 5 years ago. The DA picked him up in America, got him, charged him for drug smuggling. He was the biggest smuggler. Got in there, and it was like one of those movies, fool. CIA came in there, said, uncuff him.
Let him out, G.
What you mean? And it made headlines.
Damn.
General, Mexican general, second.
Petraeus?
No, Petraeus is an American general.
Oh, I thought you said second star American general.
It's American.
Oh, okay.
He got arrested in America. It's a Mexican general that was only next to it was like one of those 4-star generals, only next to the president. They arrested him for cocaine smuggling, bro. They released him.
He was just on a sick one, dog. He wasn't smuggling.
Oh, he was just on a sick one.
Those were Percy's.
He was a comparator.
Hey, those 20 keys were Percy's, G.
And it ain't conspiracies. You look it up. It's all there, and they let him go, bro, because it was making it look like it was showing the fact that the Mexican government is ran by the cartel, and America was like, oh, they know
we do business with them. Don't fucking lock my guy up.
Okay, to me. The CIA
above your pay grade
picks up cartels. Okay, right now we're gonna work with you. You're the one running the dope. We're making money off it, and it's how we do all our fucking ops shit around the world. Sure. And then this guy's getting old. All right, you going to prison, Chopper? You're going to prison. I'm gonna get the next one. Now you're the cartel running. It's just Narcos was a perfect fucking way to do it.
Nina, Arkansas.
Yeah,
go do your history. Nina, Arkansas. Bill Gates. Bill Gates. That's crazy.
Bill
Clinton.
Yeah.
Right. Nina, Arkansas. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Cocaine Cowboys. They gave you a documentary and you didn't go deep.
Stupid. Yeah. When I interviewed the guy from, what was his name? Dude, he was the ex-DEA agent, Hector. He had a Netflix special, bro. And he's the one that said he was looking into it. And you guys, it's an old video I did. But I got the interview with him. He pretty much said that to his words, that the CIA was the one that killed that famous DEA agent that got left at the border.
Kiki Camarena.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah, he said it. He's like, dude, this is what it was when I started. When I started doing my thing out of there, that guys in his division were like, hey, dude, just leave it alone.
Damn.
Just leave it alone, because Kiki was getting closer and closer, and was figuring out, damn, the CIA is the one
fucking
moving this dope, bro. And is it still happening to say, yeah, listen, if the U.S. government really wanted to get rid of drugs, they can stop. 90% of it, bro.
That's
Easily, bro.
Easy,
Come on, we don't have to take. We can go to the moon allegedly. We can do all this, but we don't have drones. We don't have sensors on the ground.
Crazy. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think that's too far of a stretch, right? Like people that
Kicking
are
it too much,
yeah, for people that are listening, right? Because you have prime examples like the real Rick Ross, right? Where the CIA was decentralized.
And he didn't even know like that at first.
Yeah, the CIA was decentralizing like Central American governments, right, and funding their proxy wars, you know, by fucking, you know, selling, you know, having a lot of these drug sales.
Money.
And, you know, enabling these individuals to traffic drugs, you know, in large quantities and providing transportation from, like, it's all declassified. It's all 100%. Like readily available for you to read. No. So if you don't believe that they could do it, first of all, they already did. Second of all, you don't believe that they can do it again. They're doing it right now as we speak.
It's old news. I mean, your war on drugs, dog, like that was cute. Just go look into your war on drugs and realize how we just went around every nation that had a fucking opium field. Yeah. Like, go fuck yourself.
So watch. Let me read this to you real quick. Yeah. In October 2020, General Salvador Cienfuegos was arrested in Los Angeles and accused of ties to international drug trafficking ring, but charges were dropped a month later under intense pressure from Mexico.
Damn. Intense pressure from Mexico in an American court.
Yeah, bro.
Come on, fool. Read between the lines.
That just tells you the power of the drugs,
bro. Old boy came up with the suitcase, put it on the desk, and said, "Hey, Judge, you're fucking up."
Hey, they charged Trump. That'd be a good one. I could do a fucking meme on this tomorrow on Instagram. If you want me to steal it, steal it. They charged Trump for labeling something an expense, right? For fucking 150 grand to pay off a porn star. Yeah. But they let go a general who was arrested for drug trafficking, major drug trafficking in Los Angeles.
Okay, but he didn't do porn, fool. Don't you get it?
Is that what it is?
He didn't do porn. He wasn't a glizzy
That'll
goblin.
tell you that they pick and choose.
Of course, dog.
They pick and choose. Dude. And the DA guys were livid, bro. Because that was their thing. They were like, nah, bro,
justice is for me, not for thee.
It's like one of those movies where, oh, they're going to call right now. They're like, yeah, right, you're going down. And sure enough, they get the phone call.
And they make the left.
Yeah, they make the phone call, and the guy's fucking higher command says, "Hey, uncuff him." And the agent's probably, "What do you mean I'm
over your jurisdiction?"
I'm surprised nobody's done a movie on that yet. That'd be a great fucking show.
You get murdered. You ever seen that Gray State movie? Yeah. You ever seen Gray State that was supposed to come out and never did, and that guy shot himself twice in the back of the head? Weird.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
People have tried. Good luck. That's not going to happen.
Suicide.
Yeah, you seen the one that Obama? Yeah, double shot back of the head. You know how crazy that double tap got to be?
It was quick, bro. He was quick. Bro. He was with it.
Yeah, just he like this. Bro, he hit the Call of Duty perk. Sorry, no disrespect, but that motherfucker double tapped. What? Crazy fool. But you know what's crazy? You guys see the movie Obama made? When he went out of
yes.
Oh, about the Civil War?
Yeah.
Oh, was that his?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it. I'm waiting for it to be $5. I refuse to pay $19.99.
It's his production company, right?
Yeah. Him and his wife.
The Cali and Texas Civil War against the rest of the states, right?
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that, so the next state, and Tucker Carlson was the one that brought this more into light, and
I fuck with Tucker.
I fuck with Tucker too. Yeah. Do you think that if something were to happen to Donald Trump where he's flying a helicopter and it crashes, or he just happens to take a magic bullet in the back of the head, do you think there's a possibility for a civil war?
I would love to think that the people would uprise on that, but I don't think they will.
They will.
I don't think so.
For what? For who?
I think if anybody was, it would have been.
I think they will.
If they're going to do it for anybody, it's for Trump.
And I would agree with that too. They didn't do it for JFK. They didn't,
but that was JFK. That was
and then that got released. And then that got released. And then it came out that the Italian mafia and the CIA was part of it, and nobody cared. I don't think people care as much.
But I think access to information and being able to mobilize the way that you're able to mobilize in this day and age versus back in the 60s, right, is completely different.
But the JFK thing was something that was like, quote unquote random. These driving. Trump's thing is
it came out. It wasn't random.
No, I know this, but when it happened, when it happened, it was random. With Trump thing, you could see the government pushing this guy. You could see see from a mile away, because there's a lot of people already invest. Why would we care? $53 million in one day tells you people care.
Okay, that's and I fuck with that, and I get that, right? But where is the uprising a year after the election is stolen from the guy? A year, like all we do is talk.
It's not the same though compared to putting
somebody getting killed, bro.
Just like the convo with the Mexican female president, my heart is with you guys, right? I want to believe, yes, we would have an uprising. I don't, but I'm pessimistic on this one. I think people are short-term memory. They won't give a fuck. Epstein didn't do it. Come on, so many things.
No,
do it.
Trumpito, I think, hombre.
Bro. Okay, think about it like this though. It would only matter because we're in an era where people do care, where people are invested. That's why they care about Trump. But Epstein came up and nobody gave up. That was a major one.
If they were to assassinate Donald Trump, the American political system will be destroyed, because from there on out, people, I would for sure know that there will eventually be like home terrorists doing all kind of crazy shit. Yeah. There would be guerrilla type stuff. I could see people,
and we would fight them, and that would be civil unrest, and that would be the perfect thing for them, because then you'd have your extreme rights.
Hotline.
Yo. How's it going, guys?
What's going on? Where are you calling from, my man? Talk to us.
I'm calling from Orange County, by the way. Fuck Roger.
Shots fired. What's good, OC? Talk to us.
Might be my favorite.
All right, bro. I got a question, guys. Let me ask you a question. How did America become such a rich country? And the reason I say this is because I'm trying to compare other nations, right? Like other Latin American nations. They kind of started off the same, right? With all the bullshit, colonization, battling Indians, to start this constitution, yada, yada, yada. How did America end up in the way that it did compared to the other places?
Because America was the colonizer. America was the one taking all the resources from other countries. Yeah, America was the guy. America was the guy gang banging on everybody, and they won the war. So the spoils go to the victor. And we love gangs. We love gang banging. People say they're colonizers. America was the biggest gang banger. They came from the East Coast and said, we banging our way all over here. And they banged on everybody, bro. So, of course, if you bang on everybody, you're going to win. And that's why they got so much shit.
Oh, everybody turns on you. Also, the Industrial Revolution had a huge stake in us becoming a world power.
What's that, caller?
No, I said that's an interesting take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could fucking take everything.
America's a puppet master, bro.
Well, also during the colonization, we were not rich at all, dog.
Oh no, of course
we
not.
Were pretty poor.
But we started this gangster shit. So
sure, yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I would say plenty of tribes were the original gangs.
Well, tribes, yeah, but America is the one that actually manifests destiny.
What about Crusaders, fool? They gangbanged on everybody.
No, everybody, but at the
end,
their
set was the Bible.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it still is. America's thing is still the Bible, bro.
No, it's not. We're a secular nation. We're a secular nation.
It's still the Bible, homie.
We don't do anything in the name of God. We don't even have God in our national anthem nor our dollar bill.
I disagree. We'll talk about that right now. You got anything else, caller?
Yeah. Another question. So, what do you see the world being like 100 years from now?
That's hard.
Fucking Godful.
Yeah, one big computer networked into every tree, and every tree is now wired. I don't see or the earth.
I
just
see
cleans
a
itself.
bunch of people just like desensitized to everything.
Blobs.
They don't have emotions. They don't really feel anything. They don't really care for anything as much as we do. They don't hold all that with them. Unless obviously things change, but the way the world is going now,
we'll have a
what
reset.
I see people living on Web3. I see people living digitally. I see like just like you have
I see cavemen,
young men and women right now like playing video games.
The Matrix.
Or just, exactly.
Yeah, the Matrix.
The Matrix, basically.
Well, what about space travel? Do you see that shit being a thing 100 years from now?
Not at all.
Oh yeah, I do.
Not at all.
Mars.
Why not?
I don't think so.
Mars.
I don't think so.
I even say within
he asked me why
within my lifetime, if I live another 20 years, 30 years, I see aliens coming over here.
Nah,
I do. I do.
Ooh,
I see
that
a
makes
fake
sense.
alien
No,
invasion.
in the next 20, 30 years, I see aliens. And as far as the future, I see it more of Mad Max.
See, and that's why I say cavemen.
according to the government, though, the aliens have already came here.
No, that's what I'm saying. But in 20 years, it's going to be out there. Like, here it is, bro.
Yeah, can I give you an example, bro?
Yeah, shoot.
So when you look at an airplane, right? Like if you look at LAX, right? You look at the airplanes, they see alien, right? You're like, fuck, this thing can get me from LA to fucking China, yada, yada, right? You think if you would have showed a motherfucker that airplane 100 years ago,
Nope.
you would have thought it was a spacecraft, like an
Yeah,
alien?
of course.
Okay,
Yes.
so imagine 100 years from
That's
now,
what I'm saying.
bro.
Yeah, for sure. The technology, the way it's going, but I believe that the way that we're going, not even just America, in the world, it's becoming a world of just super rich and super poor, and that's where we're heading to right now.
But doesn't that idea prove also that aliens are real?
Oh no, I believe aliens are real, 100%. I'd be a fool to say we live in such a huge, vast universe and galaxy, and we're the only chosen ones, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. To be honest,
I think philosopher's an alien. That's why he's trying to divert us from the conversation, bro.
Hey.
Anywhere wearing a tiger print like that, homie, you gotta either be half Salvadoranian or alien, homeboy. I don't know which one it is.
Hey, all I'm gonna say,
puta voz.
that's right. Nothing major.
All right, one more question before I go. What about 1,000 years from now?
Oh no, 1,000
Bro,
years we're
come
gone,
on,
bro.
fool. You
You're
can't
going too
even-
far,
You
homie.
can't even do that. You can't even do that.
Gone, dog.
Actually,
Yeah,
no.
we'll be
Actually, I have an answer for that one.
Yeah.
You know what I think, man? I think that within
Hey,
1,000
thanks for the call,
years,
caller.
Yeah, appreciate that. Actually, good questions too.
Yeah, no, he
Those
does.
last
He does
two
a
were-
very good call.
Those last two were actual questions, right? But to be honest, in 1,000 years, I think that the only thing that will be remaining is still those pyramids and giant monoliths.
Yeah, no, I think eventually what's gonna happen is either we're gonna have a man-made catastrophic thing, which would be a nuclear war. Which it's inevitable.
I don't think that'll happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna. You got somebody like Kim Jong Un, homeboy. You're gonna have it. You're gonna have a Middle Eastern country that's gonna get a nuclear
But what
weapon.
incentive would Kim Jong Un have to bomb the entire world and then create fallout on himself?
When somebody tries to go in there.
Yeah.
That's the only reason we haven't gone and invaded North Korea is because we know he has a weapon and he's
Okay,
close enough to South
but-
Korea to drop it.
But would you think it was fair to say that off an assumption, you could probably look at that guy and assume that he was a fucking insane narcissist?
But at the same time, that's what you do to have America stay away from you, bro.
But I would use your own words against you, right?
Get it,
For
get
that
it.
particular argument. The only
I'm an alien, G.
Yeah, you're
Careful.
besides you being an alien, right?
Got the ray beam in the back.
El tigre.
I got the ray beam in my pocket
Los
right
Tigres del
now.
Norte right here, dog.
El tigre no Hollywood.
The Tigre from the valley,
El
dog.
Tigre de Mars.
Say it.
The only person that I fear is the coward.
Yep. Damn.
And that's Kim Jong Un.
Okay, so you know why I say, and I do respect and I do appreciate you, using that against me. But the reason why I wouldn't use that there is because a narcissist, especially at that level, I would assume is under the blanket of grandiosity, right? And when you're grandiose, I don't think you can accept defeat. Right, I think that if the Roosters came for Kim one day, which I don't think they ever will, because they haven't for a reason.
Because he has a weapon.
Like, no, because he has some type of political.
No.
Some type. Yes.
No,
Yes.
fool. You are so mistaken on
You
that.
don't think so?
100% you're mistaken.
You don't think he does any backdoor deals?
The only reason
You think it's
they
political?
have not gone in there is because they know he has a small type of nuke. That's why he shoots it out there every once in a while.
Bro, come on. He doesn't shoot anything out there. He does his fucking marches that are terrible with technology from the Cold War, dog. Nobody's worried about his nuke, G.
America's not worried about it. How far is South Korea from North Korea, bro?
Of
He will
course.
destroy that place.
Why won't China
Okay,
take Thailand or Taiwan?
Well, that's a whole. It's a
why
whole
won't
different. It's
they?
a whole different story.
Why? It's
All
right there.
They're doing the same thing with us. It's more of a Cold War.
It's
right
a
now.
showcase.
But no, North Korea is so close to South Korea, and if North Korea gets threatened by America going in, they will drop whatever nukes or whatever weapons they have into South Korea. And if America gets involved, we'll have a world war because China will get involved.
Of
China
course.
is their big homie.
Okay, but that man is grandiose, dog. He's not going to do that. He's smart.
Do you think
He won't be a god no
Do
more.
you think that if Saddam Hussein really had weapons of mass destruction,
Never
we
did.
would have gone in there?
If he really did, that's hard to ask because okay,
we
so,
knew he didn't have it. It was
the-
bullshit.
Aluminum tubes, G. Aluminum
I
tubes.
know, right?
The uranium. Look at this. Like, it was
no,
BS.
No, all day, and I agree with you. Why are we trying to wage a war with Russia?
No, why?
No, we're not.
Why do we not
We're
go?
not?
We're
no,
not.
No,
We're not playing.
No,
that.
no.
We haven't been
It's
playing
a
the
proxy
boogeyman.
war.
It's a proxy.
proxy
Yeah,
war.
but
Okay.
why won't
And
we
who
go
has
to?
a bigger ego?
Hey, why won't we go to Russia?
For several reasons.
Any
right?
other country would have gone in there.
Well, no.
Nuclear weapons.
For way more than Russia.
Nuclear weapons.
For way more than Russia. But we'll play the game. We don't talk about North Korea for shit, bro. We leave that out of our fucking our
No, it
vocabulary.
depends
dog.
who the enemy of the week is.
No, because Trump came over and made them shake hands, right? The boogeyman is not the boogeyman you wanted
Hey,
to
that
be.
was Dennis Rodman. Let me correct you.
Hey, you're right. The homie
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dennis
there you go,
Rodman.
Bobby. Yellow cake. They had yellow
Special
cake.
CIA napkin.
Yeah, yellow cake.
They got carrot
Yeah,
cake over
bro,
here.
they're throwing babies. We can do that all day. It's called propaganda, right? But the
so-
reality of it is, if you go to war with Russia, their biggest purchaser of their arms would be who? Afghanistan.
No, they
And then
have
who would back
nukes,
them
bro.
up?
Having
They do.
a nuke.
But we do too.
Okay, but having a nuke in any country is like having a strap
It's
in
a
hoods
neutralizer.
that don't have straps.
Well, it's a
In other words,
neutralizer.
yeah, it's
called what is it? Mutual extinction, or what is the term that they use?
Why do you think they give money to India, America? Why do you think they give money to Pakistan? Because they have nukes, bro.
Medical
They have
field as
no, they
well.
have nukes.
All of our medicine comes out
They
of
have
there.
nukes. Now let me ask you this: do you think that if a Middle Eastern country that is very rogue, like Afghanistan, if they had nuke capabilities, which they will in the next 100 years,
Of course.
do you think they won't use it?
Yeah, of course. Of course they would, right? But
And that'll start the apocalypse. I mean, one nuke getting dropped, that's it, bro.
I don't think so, man, and I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think you've
it's
seen
gonna
it.
happen.
I think that if that was the case, bro, like what you is a nuke really? Is nuclear weaponry really that hard to get? Surprisingly, not.
Well, I don't know. I can't go to my local hardware store and say, "Hey,
You're not a
so what
terrorist.
type of nukes do you have right now?"
I mean, you're not a terrorist.
No,
G.
no,
That's not,
even
that's
terrorists
not
ain't got
your
nukes.
game.
Fool.
You don't think so?
No,
Bro, so many people have been caught up. So many spies have been caught up
A
with
nuke is
uranium.
a whole different ball game, bro.
I promise you, next week I'm gonna come back with like 4 fucking.
No, don't come with
cases. I
nothing,
got you.
fool.
I
Don't come
got
with
you.
nothing over
I
here,
got
fool.
you.
I already got the Secret Service on my ass,
Hey,
bro.
you said I looked
No.
Middle Eastern a while ago, G.
Yo, you doing
It's
nothing
over,
major?
fool.
Hey, nukes is a whole different. Nukes will give you
Yeah.
so much power.
Hey, nah, bro,
Yeah.
I was fucked. That was a
No,
sly. I was
nukes will
fucked.
give you so much power,
Yeah,
bro.
well,
But no. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Nukes will give you power where you can be Kim Jong Un and say, "Fuck America." I'm this little piece of shit country that if I didn't have a nuke, America would have gone in there.
Okay, what can America do about North Korea without starting a literal?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nuke aside.
Well,
nuke
no,
aside.
they could do this. They could be like Donald Trump. Go in there, talk to the guy, and Donald Trump. I could
Which he
see.
did.
This is my opinion. What Donald Trump went in there.
Yeah, he made him shake hands.
Well, no. First of all, Donald Trump said, "Little guy, I will bomb you." He used the same game that he used on us.
Yeah.
He said, "I will destroy your little missile. I will fucking wipe your." And that got his attention. Like, oh shit, this was playing the same game. But he met what up with him, and he probably told him, "Listen, man." Lower your tone.
Bro, he
I
knows
don't care
America.
about taking over your country.
Not at all.
You want to be a dictator? Get your money.
Yeah.
Just stop doing those weapons. And as soon as Trump left, what did he do? Why? Because he's letting fools know, don't come to my hood, fool.
Yeah.
Don't come to my hood. I got this. I got this.
Let me ask you a question. What modern weapon does North Korea have?
They have nuclear weapons, bro.
A lot of people have nuclear.
No, heck to the no.
Well, what's the problem with Russia? Russia has more
No,
nuclear
you're talking about
technology than us.
superpowers. Russia is a superpower.
Okay, but they have more nuclear.
But it's a
number.
superpower.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Mexico have nuclear weapons? No. Does El Salvador have nuclear weapons?
They're
No.
not allowed
Does it-
to.
How do you mean they're not allowed to?
They're not
easy
allowed
to
to.
get.
America's not going to let it happen. Oh, yeah, terrorists
wow, they're
can.
easy to
Terrorists
get?
can.
No.
There's a vast difference. It's easy to get a gun as a fucking hood fool in the street. It's not easy to get a gun in California, dog. You got to wait 3 weeks.
Every nuclear weapon, everything like that can be tracked somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
There will be no country foolish enough to sell a nuclear weapon to a terrorist because that shit gets dropped. Guess what? This fucking weapon came from over here. And it's going down.
So you believe there's not a single fucking case of any type of spy being caught up with any type of nuclear assets at all?
I'm sure there's like a dirty bomb that has some, but an actual
so then
straight.
how do you get that?
No, but an actual straight warhead nuclear weapon.
No, you can't smuggle a warhead.
Well,
dog.
that's what a
Come on,
nuclear
G.
weapon is, bro.
No, but you start building them out.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Listen, if they had them by now,
Bro, a thermite bomb
if
could
they
fit in a
had if
suitcase.
they had them by now, they would have used it. And when they get it,
How do you know they haven't?
Because nothing's blown up that
Are
big
you
yet.
sure? So you haven't heard of like literal cases of CIA dropping fucking drone strikes in Americans saying
Drone
that
strikes is not a nuclear weapon, bro. Nuclear weapon is insane.
But try to understand the concept of what I'm saying, right? Is that all these 20 people fucking died and they said like this fucking U-Haul blew up with this whole fucking diesel tank and burned all these people out. Bro, there's so many cases of shit that is like drone strikes go down and they're covered by all. You don't know what you don't know.
See, but you're
roofs.
You're going from like, to me, it's like a 38, maybe a AK-47 to a tank.
Well, no, you're saying tank. I'm not.
A nuclear weapon is a tank, bro.
And a nuclear fucking ball, any type of nuclear energy, like the size of this fucking little thing, could power an entire city all day. You're under the assumption that nuclear power has to be this fucking or this split atom in this giant warhead. It doesn't have to be that way.
No, I am talking about specifically a nuclear bomb.
Oh well, that's
I've been talking about. I'm sorry, when I say nuclear weapon, let me rephrase it. Nuclear bomb.
Well, warhead's not a bomb.
Nuclear bomb.
A warhead is a missile.
No, it's a warhead with a nuclear bomb in it. That's what I'm talking about.
It's a missile, right?
no-
So I can put thermite inside of a suitcase, and then I can put thermite inside of a warhead. I think it is.
No. So people, let me know where you can buy nuclear weapons. That easy.
Yeah, shoot it in the DM at Philosopher.
And that's why they don't want Iran to get the nuclear fucking weapon. Because once you get that, you're on the field. You got to strap.
Them motherfuckers are sending it on day one.
You got to strap in the hood. Right now, a nuclear weapon is the equivalent to me.
Having one is having leverage.
Yeah, to me, it's the equivalent of being in the Indian tribe back in the days, and all of a sudden you have one of those fucking 50 cal.
Damn! Don't give it to. He don't know how to use it. G. Yeah. He's spraying everything.
Most people, most of the world, as far as weapons go, they're still on bow and arrows, fool. But once you got that gunpowder,
why not
change the
assassinate
game.
him? Huh? Why do we assassinate and we take out all these leaders that we don't give a fuck about, regardless?
With who?
You don't need a nuclear weapon to be a threat, fool. You have a terrorist organization, which I would argue
you need a nuclear weapon to not let America or other powers raid your country.
To have a voice.
No, to raid your country.
Yeah, to have a voice.
If Osama bin Laden had a nuclear weapon, America would never raid him like that. He would have used it.
Oh, Osama bin Laden was probably dead before they ever fucking
He would have used it though.
Yeah, of course he didn't have it. Of course he didn't have it.
They fear anybody with a nuke. Okay, why haven't we got to Cuba?
Huh?
Why haven't we got to Cuba?
They
have a nuclear weapon,
but your
bro.
argument is mute because
you said you can go to Home Depot and get a nuclear weapon, bro. Your argument is fucking mute.
That's a straw man, but no,
that's what you said. You literally said I can get the nuclear. I get this and that. I get a little bit of this. I get a little bit of that. I have a nuclear weapon.
That is that's
shots fired. Chris, shots fired.
That's a way. Put that form real quick. Hold on.
That's a good impersonation.
That is a great way to stretch a point, right? But that's not quite what I would say. What I would say is I agree with you. A nuclear capabilities allows you to sit at the table and be respected.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
So the argument is mute because nobody's saying that that's not the case.
So you agree with me, but now my argument is mute because I said the same thing.
Well, it's mute because I agree with you. That's what would
now you sound like my wife. Now you sound like my wife.
Hey man, she knows what mute means.
Okay.
My argument would be: is it really, really real? Is Kim Jong-un really that much of a threat to us? What is, not that he has capabilities of nuclear warheads, but what is his actual capability?
You can easily say that because you do not live in South Korea.
Of course, that's why it's a question.
No, you said, is he really a threat to? He's a threat to us as our Americans. Allies. Well, America sees 100%. South Korea as a huge ally. Of course. And is he a threat to South Korea? Yeah, we're technically still at war. Which would make him
a threat to us, right?
Okay.
Well, South Korea is the biggest producer of semiconductors and chips.
Okay.
So there's definitely a vested interest in protecting.
But let me ask you this again.
But what is the threat of North Korea to other nations? What is the threat of their nuclear capacity? Is the question. To me,
it's everybody knows they have a nuke. It may not be like the greatest nuke in the world, but they have a nuke and they're real close to South Korea. Okay, and he would go on a suicide mission if we raided him.
Let me ask you a question then. If you found out his nuclear capacity was that of, let's say, technology from like the 70s, would you still consider him as much a threat as you do right now?
Fuck yeah. You don't know. Have you heard of Hiroshima?
Of course.
And that was an atomic bomb. That's not even a nuclear bomb.
Why hasn't it happened?
Because we haven't raided him. No, he's not that crazy. He's crazy enough to say, don't come into my hood, I'm going to blow you up.
So that's my point is I actually don't think he's crazy like that. I think that he has ties behind the scenes that we don't understand.
He's crazy, bro. He's crazy.
No, I think he's grandiose. I think he's a narcissist.
How about this? Answer the question. I think you diverted from it.
I've answered.
Why in the Western Hemisphere that if anybody else, we got into wars with Nicaragua, we got into wars in El Salvador because of communists. Why haven't we raided this little small shit of an island? As far as, and when I say shit of an island, I mean military wise. Why haven't we gone into Cuba?
All you North Koreans.
No, Cuba. Why haven't we gone and freed Cuba?
Oh, I mean, but. And I'm with you on all of that. That's my point on why it's mute. Is I don't disagree with you.
So do you think they have weapons?
I don't know.
No. So answer.
I would assume that there's enough.
Don't go
there's
around
enough. I did already.
Why do you think we have not gone and freed Cuba?
Cuba. There's enough information that the government feels like they probably do have weapons, and it would be mutually destructive. That's the term. Mutually destructive.
So in other words, the nuclear weapon does change the game. Yeah, it makes you not raid them.
But I already said that. That's why it's mute.
No, because you were first saying what's a big deal if you got a nuclear weapon, it doesn't give you that much leverage.
No, I reiterated my point, which was that I do not disagree with you that having a nuclear capacity creates You leverage to your point. I'll
Major.
say it again, right? This is like the third time in a row I said it. This is why the argument is mute. I agree with you on all of the concept behind what you're saying.
But what don't you agree with?
What I disagree with is I personally don't understand the nuclear capability of North Korea to know if the government really, and give me 1 second, right? It really sees them as an issue for nuclear capability, or if maybe, I mean, we got done talking about shadow governments this whole time. Maybe there's something that we are not privy to where there is a business there. Maybe there's human trafficking involved and it's easy to take a net full of people.
Charlie Holmes.
You know what I mean? Like, who knows? I just am going to say I don't know.
I think to answer that question, right, the reason why we haven't gone into places like North Korea and Cuba, right, is because Cuba is backed by Russia and North Korea is backed by China. And those are the two countries, right, that hold the nuclear power, right? Not necessarily that we fear Cuba and North Korea having that technology and capability, but we know, like, that's the little brother. And so we go knock little brother.
Which is why I asked about Taiwan.
There you go.
Same. That's why I asked about Taiwan.
But little brother's strapped too.
No, yeah, little brother strapped.
Yeah, but bro, I don't give a fuck.
He got big bro strapped.
Little bro got a 22.
Hey, no.
Fuck up out of here.
When Russia was dealing with Cuba, they put warheads there.
Yeah, they were building that.
And there's still warheads there. And America knows that. And if you threaten those guys.
Is Cuba the problem or is Russian nuclear capability the problem?
To me, it's not a problem. To me,
that's why it's mute, Papa.
To me, it's Cuba has some type of nuclear weapon. America knows this. Because if it wasn't, America would have been gone in there.
So do they have nuclear scientists?
I don't think so. I think they got,
so then where do their nukes come from?
Oh, from the Russia, from the Bay of Pigs.
So then that would go to my question: why does China not address Taiwan? They want Taiwan because they understand
but the Taiwan,
what comes with that.
The Taiwan situation is very brand new, bro.
It's the same thing he just said.
The Taiwan situation is literally brand new. We're talking about something in Cuba that's been going on for 50 years. We're talking about something North Korea that's been going on for 50 years.
China doesn't respect them as an independent state, and they believe that they're part of them.
Oh, what's going on with Hong Kong? They're taking it over little by little. Yeah. It's to them. It's slowly. Why am I going to go in there and destroy this place that's a thriving?
But that's
fucking.
Not the point.
No, it's a different world. It's not. It's not what's going on, and it's something that's brand new. Cuba, 50 years, bro. Okay. Taiwan is brand new. You can't sit there and even start comparing Taiwan to Cuba. It's a whole different thing.
But it's the same result.
No, and especially in America. America, anytime you see some kind of communist thing, oh, we're going in there.
It's going to make me take my cheetah jacket off. This jacket's coming off, bro.
But aren't these great conversations?
Yeah, amazing conversations.
Aren't these great conversations, homie?
Yeah. Right. No, there needs to be had,
but they're mute. They're mute. I like that one. They're mute. They're mute. I agree with you, sir. It's mute.
You're going to use that now. You're going to use nothing major. It's mute, nothing major.
All right, but so it's getting late, boys. I know you guys got a nice drive to you. I again, homie, I appreciate you guys having me hop on with you guys, man. It's always a great conversation, homie. Hey, give me a XL jacket like that, fool. Next time I wear it with my Lokes, fool. The Tigre in Hollywood,
I'm going to get you a zebra, though. I'm going to get you the zebra, G. We're going to do
like Rambo.
We're going to do the tiger and the zebra up in here, G.
You're going to look like Rambo.
Oh, man. I appreciate you, Philosopher. Appreciate you, Frank. I appreciate Doughboy Tony, man. You can take us out.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. Again, it's What's the Word on Wednesdays on the realest platform, American Cholo. Appreciate everybody that came in. Had a conversation. OG, always appreciate you for giving us the platform to have these grown man conversations. Anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
Respect the policy.
Respect the policy.
That's right. All right. Hey, man. And you know what? If you're over here stressing and tripping on nuclear power, homie, and your wife telling you everything you say is mute, go get you some Hadar.
If you're stressed out about North Korea, Cuba bombing you.
Don't worry about Kim no more, homie. Roll you up a bleezy and take it easy, G. I'll catch y'all.
Oh, shit. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in, man. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let's run it, man.
Let's do it.
That's right.
Oh, shit.